He's already apologized for it. Pentagon spokesman Major General Pat Ryder.
Office of the Director of Administration and Management conducted this review. They found nothing during the review that demonstrated any indication of ill intent or attempt to obfuscate by the individuals involved.
The new report highlights that the secretary's staff was limited in several ways, including medical privacy laws. 8 recommendations are included in the report. 2 have already been implemented. The Pentagon also says Secretary Austin is following the situation involving the death of an airman who set himself on fire outside the Israeli embassy while shouting "Free Palestine." Ryder calling it a tragic event. President Biden in New York City for a campaign meeting on Thursday. He and former President Trump each plan to visit the southern border. The president will hold meetings in Brownsville, Texas.
That sector he's visiting, it's been slow and at times dead for some months now. Daily encounters there average between 200 to 400 per day. That compared to San Diego and Tucson, where we have between 1,000 and 2,000 migrant encounters per day.
Fox Business's Madison Allworth. Tomorrow, President Biden meets with the top 4 congressional leaders ahead of a deadline Friday to avoid a partial government shutdown.
The White House says President Biden will also stress the urgency of passing a bipartisan national security supplemental spending bill that includes about $60 billion in military aid for Ukraine. The Senate approved the legislation earlier this month, but House Republican leaders have not yet set a vote, insisting the package also include tougher border provisions.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Hear that? The sound of adorable little birds in your garden. And if you were here, you'd taste the 2 sweet but tiny tomatoes you grew all by yourself. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens when you're riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive on your way to the store for a pack of normal-sized tomatoes. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without getting your hands dirty. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Yeah, look out, all right. This was unbelievable. Hey, how you doing? It's only me. It's on the Kimmer. With Pete Davis, sidekick producer, sports raconteur extraordinaire, and flounder at the controls.
Yeah. Oh, the day I was born.
Oh, my goodness. Well, all weekend long, lead story all over the media was what happened in Georgia from the illegal invader alien. He's not a migrant. All the news stories say, well, the illegal immigrant. No, he's not an immigrant. He's a sneak-in alien. The federal law is a law concerning illegal aliens. It doesn't say illegal immigrants. Anyway, we'll get to all this. I mean, this is just appalling. It's heartbreaking. It's appalling. I'm going to read a letter to you from a woman who knows intimately about some of the things in this case of the young Deborah Gonzalez, the DA over there, ruining everything for Clark County and Athens, so forth. And Laken Riley and what happened to her. Anyways, we'll update a whole bunch of stuff like that. Plus, reactions from Governor Kemp. I was wondering what happened, and I saw him on the news. So he had a news conference. We'll have a couple of things about what he said. Also, Donald Trump reacting to it. And we'll talk about how the media's covered this. Again, you knew this was going to be happening. But we got all the newsy stuff. We also have, who's my singing guy? Don Henley. Talking about the 16-year-old prostitute he was caught with, part of a band thing, a lawsuit over who's got the right to stolen documents, handwritten scripts of him writing his songs and so forth. There's a fight over who owns it and who can sell it. Also, Saturday Night Live, we'll play a little bit of that stuff there for you. And we got a whole bunch of newsy stuff. And let's start off. This is pretty funny. This is Black Lives Matter Day. By the way, I don't know who said so. I mean, there's something. I guess it shows up on national historical websites and stuff. But somebody decided this is Black Lives Matter Day. Do we ever know who does this? Have any idea?
No. I mean, it just shows up on websites and daily, almanacs and things like that.
In fact, one of the reasons, I'll get to it on my history thing, one of the reasons is that on this day in 2012, Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by the neighborhood watch guy, and Black Lives Matter launched a year after the white guy who killed him was acquitted. Also, this is also the, let's see, we got another one here. No, that's not it. Here we go. Hold on, there we go. No, that's not it either. Well, anyway, it's the Black Lives Matter Day. So, it was, by the way, it's a freaking crock. And for the record, this is unbelievable. Black Lives Matter, as we know, is a disgraceful movement and a disgraceful organization. Is there any question about that? I mean, and don't be giving this, that's racist, man. That's a bunch of crap. Black people know that they got screwed. All that money that was collected? Please. You think you're a lot better off now, the people who suffered? Well, guess what? I've got some figures here. Just look this up. Here are the figures from the major contributors to Black Lives Matter. Bank of America, $18 billion. BlackRock, $810 million. Adidas, $120 million. Amazon, $169 million. American Express, $50 million. Apple's donation to Black Lives Matter, $100 million. We're not done. IBM, $252 million. Kellogg, $91 million. Microsoft, $244 million. PGA Tour, $100 million. Warner Brothers Discovery, $115 million. Ford Foundation, $1.7 billion. PNC, $1 billion. Bank of America, $1 billion. PayPal, $530 million. PepsiCo, $445 million. And Wells Fargo, $400 million. Black Lives Matter to the organizations. I mean,
you could put a Wendy's in every black neighborhood with that kind of money.
God. And pay for them when they get burned down by black people complaining about white people. Yeah. I mean, my God. I mean, in fact, it ought to be a contest. Let's do this. Let's take some of that money and let's have a Wendy's on every corner, and then we'll have white people driving in a car, and we can have the black people say, "Oh, there's a white guy," and then burn down the Wendy's, and then we'll see how long it takes. We can do over/under, bet and gamble on it. Oh, this would be great. Raise some money for charity. Maybe for Black Lives Matter. Yeah. We got to pay for a TV view.
Where'd the money go?
I don't think anybody's ever actually asked that. Yeah, where is it? Oh. I mean, are those companies embarrassed now?
No.
Oh, I will get to it. I don't want to spend the whole first part of the scene on Black Lives Matter Day. And again, we're going to talk a lot about this business at UGA. Okay, quickly, first of all, I got to slow down. Okay. How is it possible in America that there isn't a basic rule that says it's bad enough that if you sneak into our country and demand asylum or say, I'm just looking for a better life or whatever, if you sneak into our country and we allow you to stay here while we process whatever it is you're going to be doing, why isn't it automatic that if you commit any kind of crime, you have therefore disrespected the America you have sneaked into, and you have forfeited your right to be living in America? You should, if you commit any crime, blowing a red light, whatever it is, traffic. I mean, honestly, if you are such a person to commit a crime after sneaking into this country, that you wanted to be here so badly to come into our country that you were willing to walk for thousands of miles and sneak in and everything else, and yet you commit a crime here, you have forfeited your right to live in America, period. If you commit a crime, if you're an illegal alien and you commit a crime, you should go to jail for the crime, and the moment you are released, there's a freaking bus taking you to the airport or the bus stop to go right back to Mexico.
We set up a line of catapults and trebuchets at the border.
Yeah, even better. And I actually have them go over a moat filled with alligators, because some of them aren't going to make it. And that just the fun part.
Place your bets.
Oh, there you go. I'm serious. If you commit a crime as an illegal sneak in and you commit a crime, how is it possible that they'll put you in jail immediately? You're illegal, oh my God, and then send you back?
You want the answer? It's one word.
Yeah.
Democrats,
yeah. Mm-hmm. You're going to hear about this, the scandalous DA in Clark County in Athens.
And the sheriff, too.
Yeah. And it's unbelievable. So we got all that going for. We got all this kind of stuff here, too. Let's see. Oh, let's begin talking about this. You want to read that email you got that you weren't going to read? Because you thought it was going to be bad?
I threw it away because you got one.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. I mean the one on the vice president. Shiftless and lazy.
I don't know what I did with it. I have no clue what I do with.
Okay, well, I'll recap.
I don't know.
Okay, he said, I'm not going to read this on the air. And I said, okay, well, tell me now. He said, here's the thing. We got a message from, I guess, was it a black guy? I don't know. I don't know if we have a name or anything, but you read me a message and it said, you guys suck. The Kimmer sucks. He's an idiot. I know it may not have been that. He listened to the show, whoever it was. I don't know.
He loves the show.
He loves the show. But he said, you've got to stop using the phrase shiftless and lazy when you talk about vice president's side piece. And, of course, that's my word.
All right, here it is. You ready?
All right, here you go.
Bill sent this.
All right, Bill.
I know that the Kimmer is a Yankee, but
that's got nothing to do. Jeez, I've been here in 1972. I'm a Yankee after 50 freaking years.
No, you're not a Yankee.
Jesus.
You're
I came here on purpose, by the way. If you were born here, kiss my ass. You're not a Southerner. You were born here just by luck. I came here because I wanted to be here. I'm more of a Southerner than you are, Bill, because you didn't have any choice. I wanted to come here.
You don't know what he is. You're not a Yankee. You're a damn Yankee.
That's right.
Anyway.
Now, wait a minute.
Maybe kindly explain to him that here in the South, and by the way, Bill, the South should be capitalized.
Yes.
It is no longer acceptable for whites to refer to blacks as shiftless and lazy.
Acceptable, huh?
And uppity.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he has not discovered happy-go-lucky yet. Just saying. And somehow he put that on a post where I put some beautiful photos of the snow moon Friday night.
I saw that going. I was going to take video of that going home, and I thought, I'm going to keep it to myself. Everybody knows if they're outside, they saw it, and I just didn't want. It was beautiful, just beautiful.
And somehow he managed to put that on the moon.
Well, anyway, all right. Now for the record, Vice President shiftless and lazy is shiftless and lazy. And the word uppity I use for our DA, Fanny the Floozy. Fanny the Floozy, you see her on the stand? Talk about uppity. Oh, my God. I'm sure she didn't go, uh-huh. I mean, do some kind of freaking Rosie the Maid thing or whatever. I'm seriously, she was doing a whole ghetto, I'm a black woman, you can't come at me. I'm not going to disrespect the thing. Give me a break. I mean, that was ridiculous. It was disgusting.
It worked.
Yeah.
Anything happened to her?
So far it worked. She's going back to court, though.
Yeah.
Shortly. Anyway, by the way, Vice President, shiftless and lazy for black people, she's not black. Vice President Side Piece's mother is from Tamil Nadu, India, and her daddy is from Jamaica. She's not black. Nope. She's a woman of color or a colored woman. Which way is a colored woman or woman of color? Is that the one? We wouldn't want to make a mistake on that, being uppity and everything.
She's Indian American.
She's
Jamaican American.
Yeah, she's Jamaican. She's a like Tiger Woods is a Cablinasian. Yeah. So I see. So she's Indian Jamaican. So Injican. She's an Injican.
Okay. Give me a shovel. Quit digging.
Dig another hole. She's an Injican.
Just move on.
I'm going to write that down.
Just move on.
No, I'm going to write that down. She's an what did I say? Injican.
I'm not going to help you out with that one.
Injican. I mean, what did this? And by the way, no, hold on.
I'm beginning to regret coming in today.
Well, there's a good reason. She is shiftless and she is lazy. And she's a disgrace to the office of vice president.
Yep.
A heartbeat away from the commander-in-chief, my God. She is shiftless and she is lazy.
Yes, sir.
All right. And we can prove it all day long. 314, I'm sorry. Here's the number, 404-741-1230. If you have a student at UGA, what are you going to do, if anything? How do you feel about it? And if you went to UGA, have you done that trail? It's a very popular place. People run all the time. Broad daylight, by the way. And I'll guarantee you he was trying to rape her. I don't have no idea about anything, but I'll guarantee you he was probably trying to rape her.
Be on your afternoon drive live from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's a freaking holiday. By the way, I almost choked to death again this morning drinking coffee. I got so bad that I started reaching my phone to put it on record so I could get the final moments of me dying because I choked on my coffee.
Did you maybe not think of using your phone to dial 911?
The Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder are only on Extra 106.3 FM and listen anytime on the Extra app.
I will admit it. I am a super football nerd. And for those of you out there, this is a big week for us as the NFL Scouting Combine gets underway from Indianapolis. But the Scouting Combine comes down to one thing. How healthy are you? Back in the day when I used to work in this industry, NFL teams would regularly give advice to future prospects, telling them they might be a first or second round pick. But they always had the caveat, it all depends on your health. If your knee is spaghetti, well, good luck getting drafted early. So while we'll all be watching the 40 times and what guys are lifting or how well they throw, what this really comes down to is, do the doctors sign off on whether or not you get drafted early? For Extra 106.3 FM, I'm Carlos Medina.
For more local sports, head over to The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. And for the latest political news and talk, stick with Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Good marketing makes a company look smart. Great marketing makes a customer feel smart. The Marketing Madmen surround themselves with people that are smart. The Marketing Madmen is a network of themed shows that simplify and celebrate the madness of marketing with real-world advice, timely and meaningful interviews, and good old-fashioned hijinks. Everyone is marketing something, which means that we can talk about anything. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to Extra 106.3 to hear The Marketing Madmen, or look us up on Google, find us on your favorite podcast provider, search The Marketing Madmen, and please send your questions, send your comments. We're happy to talk to you.
Democracy 24.
In the end, South Carolina, as predicted, wasn't close. Former President Donald Trump pulled in close to 60%. Former UN ambassador and South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley around 40%. But Haley says she's staying in the race. That doesn't sit well with one of former President Trump's staunchest supporters. Carrie Lake, a candidate for Senate in Arizona, said on Fox's Sunday Morning Futures,
"We have to rally behind him, stop this sideshow that Nikki Haley is trying."
Tuesday is the next chance for a Trump win in Michigan, where Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Dingell on CBS Face the Nation said Democrats have to get through to voters.
There are a lot of things that Donald Trump have done which are pretty horrific.
Congresswoman Dingell does acknowledge, though, that President Biden's age will be a concern for Michigan voters this coming election year. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
I'm sure you've noticed the post-George Floyd era on television. In most TV commercials, if you have 3 people engaged in something, one of them must be black. It's a new rule, apparently.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3. Or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Great song. Tina Turner. But Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? 319, 106.3. 1985 at the 27th Grammy Awards, Bruce Springsteen won his first Grammy for Dancing in the Dark. Cyndi Lauper won Best New Artist. Lionel Richie, Best Album, Can't Slow Down. And Tina Turner won Best Record, Best Pop Vocal Performance, and Best Song for What's Love Got to Do with It. And it said, oh, God, oh, my. there's a dirty word.
I didn't want to play Bruce.
I don't mind you. Screw him. He's running over a foreign country and saying how much he hates America. He can kiss my ass. How about that? And I'll never watch a movie with a rock in it either. You know, so screw these people. So the least I can do is just say they're muted. It's over.
Any movie with a rock in it.
The Rock, sir. Oh, thank you so much. How would I know whether there's a rock in the movie, mister?
See a rock.
Well, you can't see it when you start watching the movie. What's the matter with you? What the hell's going on?
There's got to be a rock in every single movie there is.
I had a bad weekend, Kimmer.
What'd you do? What happened this weekend? God.
I fell off the wagon.
Off the wagon?
2 years clean.
Oh, really? 2 years? Wow.
And I was going to Walmart, and I ran into my dealer in front of the Walmart.
Your dealer? What? Yeah.
Her name's Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy.
She's 8 years old.
Yeah, dealer.
Next thing you know, I wake up on my couch with empty boxes of Thin Mints and Samoas all around me.
Oh, my God, man. I don't believe you're supposed to be talking about having some sort of a rendezvous with an 8-year-old Girl Scout.
It's a Girl Scout.
That's fine. Okay, I might have
forced them on me.
I heard you say you woke up the next morning with an 8-year-old Girl Scout and the cookies. Oh, my God, man. I could have misunderstood that. You better watch out. The morning show's going to talk about you next.
Only if your mind is in the gutter as yours is, my
you're
friend.
the one who told the story.
Everybody else understood.
You told the story, not me.
That the Girl Scout pushers are out again, and they got me.
I haven't seen them. And by the way, how do you feel about mothers coming to work? See, my daughter's raising one of us, and so they nail you up here at the.
I like the cookies.
I always used to get them. I'd get 10 boxes. And
I'd put them in the fridge. The Thin Mints, you put them in the fridge or the freezer.
Yeah, they're okay. But I haven't been I have not been approached for Girl Scout cookies in years. And I haven't seen them anywhere. And I go 3 days a week, and on weekend every day almost to the store to get carrots for the horse.
You can't swing a dead cat where I live now without running into them.
Well, cool. I hope they do well. How do we feel about the Girl Scouts? Are they all gone totally woke now? Do you have to be a lesbian, or do you have to be able to change your gender?
Those are the brownies.
Do they give fake penises if you overnight camp, or I don't know how they work that. I'm seriously here. The fact that I'm even making a joke about it is appalling. It's disgusting. I don't know whether Girl Scouts are a legit organization anymore.
Yes, of course they are.
What about the Boy Scouts? Is this all woke and gender stuff? I guarantee you. What's about trannies in their groups? I'll bet you if there's a Girl Scout, and there's a 9-year-old little boy who feels like a girl, and his mommy and daddy are okay with it, and I'll bet you he's going to want to join the Girl Scouts, and I'll bet they let him.
No, they let you be a weebelo now.
Well, there you are. If you divide that into segments.
If I'm meeting a child, a young boy, or a girl for that matter, but particularly a young boy, I tell the kid, first of all, give it a good firm grip. Don't just hold your hand. Firm grip. I get a little anal about this. I love to teach young boys.
Stop! It's handshaking. How to do handshaking, you bastard. Boy, the morning crew's really going to nail me now. Go, boy, did they get me good today. Holy crap. Gee, wow. Woo, woo. They're doing an over-under on whether I'm going to be dead by Christmas. I swear to God. That's the damnedest thing.
Can anybody get in on this?
Yeah. It's like $5 tickets. They go, whole freaking. I saw Mr. Dickey doing one of those squares in his office. One of those 64 square things. It's like, I'm going to make it. What time of day is he going to drop dead? I swear to God, I can't believe it. Count on me for everything. My God. Anyway, our birthday list includes the hideous Michael Bolton. Is 71 years old today. I can sing. I can't. He can. So what am I saying? And a little bit of a history thing here. 1919, Congress establishes the Grand Canyon National Park. Not only the Grand Canyon, but also a gorge of the Colorado River, one of the wonders of the world in Arizona. This was a huge step toward preserving our national treasures. 1919. Thank God, or there'd be condos. Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
If somebody had, thank God it was early enough where that wasn't going on. I mean,
they would have destroyed it.
It's been awful. Yeah. They would have dammed the river and made, lakes and, I can't even imagine. Hillsides.
Resorts in the bottom of it, yeah.
3:24, our 3 o'clock hours, brought to you by our good friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. If you need financing to grow your business, then visit firstlibertyga.com. And we're looking forward to that, too.
It's bad enough that wankers, take boats and go down the Colorado River and spoil it by leaving trash on the side of the rivers and all stuff. It's bad enough that happens.
No, wait a minute. Hold on here. What's going on here?
Because I
Flounder did the trip down there.
I did. I rafted it for 8 days. And let me tell you, the company I went with, when every night we camp, when we left, it was like we were not there. They made us keep it.
I'm sure they do.
Everything.
I'm sure they do.
Where'd the scat go?
Scat? Is that the boat you're talking about?
Your doo-doo.
Oh, you have to carry it. No, you have to
carry it.
So they have portable potties that you bring out there, and they put them in smell-proof bags, and they carry it with you the whole trip.
Oh my God!
Who's in charge of that canoe?
How many people right this minute say, I've always wanted to take a trip down the. Oh, not anymore. You got to carry your what?
The more scary thing is the rattlesnakes. Because there was
one time, water?
No, one time someone sat down to use the restroom and they heard the rattlesnake.
Oh boy! No, that was.
That's
Yeah,
the one
gotta
thing
be
that'll.
bad place to get bit there.
As a doctor, Doug says you're going to die.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to suck the blood out there.
We cannot
help
you.
Woo! All righty. Anyway, 3:25. We'll do a couple of serious things. And I definitely do want to talk about the morning crew because they were on me about the way I get news done, copied for me for when I come in here from Flounder. And now I went to Flounder to finally, I'll do it their way so they're happy in the morning crew because I wouldn't want them to be upset every day when they come into work about what I've done. So we'll get to that. All right.
Rhino's listening, by the way, just so you know.
Well, then I'm not going on. I can't. I said too much. I mean, what if I say something wrong? I mean, tomorrow morning at 6:03.
I'm just glad he's taking the time out of his busy schedule of getting ready for the Olympics.
Well, as a 4-time champion, 4 gold medals for the decathlon, you can't just slough off this stuff. What's he got? A few months? But luckily, he's always in shape, so you don't have. He's just, a couple of weeks. It's amazing. He has a training schedule. He does his regular thing, works in the show. 2 weeks before the Olympics, runs a little bit in the morning,
just turns it on,
away, and it saves the energy. Saves the whole thing. All right. I will do one morning thing. Oh, all right. You're going to love this, Mr. Hotshot, the Rhino Morning Show, man. For the record, I bet that I'll still be alive after Christmas, so I'm putting $5 on me. Secondly,
I'll take that.
They also made fun of my sandwiches. I can't believe it. There have been times when I've talked about making sandwiches, and he actually made fun of my sandwiches. And by the way, he thinks he's a restaurateur and makes fun of my sandwiches. I could out-sandwich his ass all day long. Anyway, for the record. Okay, and I did give into a thing. No, I know. I'm running out of time.
It's a challenge coming down.
I've out-sandwiched his ass.
Good.
I think that's the first time that sentence has ever been uttered in the English language.
Well, you never know what you're going to get here.
I can out-sandwich his ass anytime.
I guarantee he's jumping up and down right now. He's getting out those old recipes. Anyway, now he did say a thing, and again, I'm wasting all his time on actual hard news stuff. But again, because he's listening, I'll go this. They were mocking me today. For good reason. Okay. I don't like technology stuff that I just don't know about. Okay. When I do something and it says do this and I don't know what it does, I don't like it. So I do things I'm familiar with. Okay. When I get at 5:42, I start looking through 3 different news sources on my phone. Okay. And I open it up and it says Donald Trump has repealed the so-and-so. So I take a picture of it. And I write down a note, picture Donald Trump appeal, okay? I list 10 of these, 10 of the stories I found, to take pictures of them from my phone, the headline of the story, and where it came from. And then later on, around 7 o'clock in the morning, I email them all, or I text them all to Flounder. And then Flounder sees the stories and gets them and prints them up. Okay, that's how it works. Now, Rhino was mocking me because it's 3 different steps that I have to do. And in fact, Flounder, I don't know where they heard us. But they were actually saying that you can't wait to get the hell away from me. And you're so sick and tired of putting up with me on this show that they actually were asking Veronica to see if she could break us up. She wanted her to break us up. They wanted her to break us up. It's unbelievable because of all the work you do. Well, Mr. Rhino, the Rhino, here's what I did. I went into Flounder because he said, well, if you're going to take a picture of the headline, instead of doing that, just put a thing in and then look for the arrow. Well, there was no arrow. I showed Flounder. I went in there and said, there's no arrow. And he said, no, he's talking about the arrow over the square box. I said, oh, well, he didn't say that. So now I know there's an arrow over a square box. If I hit the arrow over the square box, it opens up into email, and I can hit the B, which I think is allegedly your actual first name, although we know it's Flounder, and then I can email it to you that way. Now, is that easier?
We'll test it out and see.
Okay.
That's easier because I can then... I don't have to search for the story. That's a direct link. I can email it to myself.
Well, I will start doing that every day, just to make, because man, they're hurting my feelings. I swear to God, I had a rough weekend. I just, so it's kind of been
some Thin Mints would have helped you out with that.
I know. I've had yeah. Well, all right, bring around the freaking Girl Scout. Who's got now? What about our sweet house work wife? She got a little girl. She and girls probably too young. She's 4.
Too young.
Yeah, she's too. Anyway, all right, 3:29. Got 3. Well, I blew the whole segment.
Yeah, you did.
All right, come in just a minute. I'm going to read you a note we got from.
This is a short stop set, so if you want to do a story here, you can.
Can I do this? I want to read this letter from this lady. Listen, this is really, and this is very touching, and she sent it to both, I guess, to all of us. Dear Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, wanted to make sure you knew some of the details in the horrific murder on UGA campus in daylight. I was a beautiful, sweet UGA student, Laken Riley, this week. She was from Woodstock, Georgia, attended UGA 2020 to 2023, entered UGA's partner nursing program with Augusta Medical in Athens. She was living in a UGA sorority, very active part of campus. I live in Athens, and I have 2 kids, this lady writes, who are UGA students. I have 2 kids who are UGA students, so this is especially close to my heart. Jose Antonio Ibarra, the murderer, was previously arrested at least twice in Athens and released instead of being deported. Our useless DA, Deborah Gonzalez, is well known throughout the state for releasing violent criminals. She is absolutely the enemy of our citizens. She has a very difficult time keeping employees because of the horrible situation she has created. I've seen Twitter reports that the murderer is also a suspect in the murder of a jogger in Maryland, but of course I can't verify that. He was arrested in Queens months ago for injury to a child, which of course was disclosed when he was arrested at least twice in Athens before he murdered Laken Riley. Now, side note, I had not heard of that, but I've heard somebody say that, but I don't know what the charges were if he'd been arrested before. And again, anytime if you're an illegal sneaking invader and you get arrested, you should be in jail and then be deported, period. There's no release to come back later. Anyway, I'm sorry, I interrupted her thing. But he was released and murdered this brilliant, beautiful nursing student who had a 4.0 GPA. His brother, also illegal, lives in Athens and has had prior arrests there and released. This has everything to do with the situation. He was not supposed to be here. If he were not here, Laken Riley would be alive. This is President Biden's fault. This is the DA, every single DA who's released anybody who's been sneaking across the border, it's your fault too. And if you're not cracking down, we're going to do it next election.
Blood on their hands.
Murder. Broad daylight. Love to hear from UGA, like this mom, UGA students. All right, 3:32, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's Monday, and here we go.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
There is one person out there who could decide the next presidential election. Taylor Swift. The Trump camp is trying to keep her from endorsing Joe Biden because if she does, it'll almost certainly send the election to the Democrats.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
I've been lollygagging here, and I didn't get my order of my stuff ready here. Are we Ed Sheeraning it or Motorheading it?
Lollygagger.
I think you can figure this one out, right?
Yeah, it's not Ed.
It's not Ed Sheeran. I know that. It must be Motorhead. Now look at me. Look at me. I can't believe it. Damn. Shut up. Everybody's hosing the camera today, my God. Luckily, I can take it. Yeah, you'll miss me when I'm gone. Over under dead by Christmas. Kiss my foot. All right, we're Motorhead. 1991. Hold on, I got to do this. I got to get my eyes done. 1991. Motorhead released their 9th album, 1916. It features Ramones, their tribute song to the Beach Boys. No, of course, it'd be a tribute song to the Ramones. It'd be silly to do it to the Beach Boys. Let's see. Birthday list includes... let's do... now, I've never seen this show. Do you know Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
I have heard of it, but I have not seen it.
Do you know anything about that show?
I do not.
It's well known, I think. She played this girl, Taylor Dooley, is 31. She is Lava Girl in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, just for those of you who watch it, because I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard of it, so it must be well known. And let's see what we got here. Let's find a little history thing. Oh, no, I remember this day, 1993. A car bomb exploded in an underground garage at the World Trade Center, the first World Trade Center bombing in 93 on this day. The 110-story tower shook so violently that several floors of the garage collapsed. It tore a hole in a nearby subway building, killing 6 people and wounding about 1,000. A few months later, 4 guys named Mohammed, Salama, Nidal, and Mahmoud, just their first names, were arrested.
Nice Irish boys.
Yeah, from Ireland. Came in on the border through Canada. It's an incredible story. The Islamic extremists' goal was to bring down the building. Bring down the building. Well, they learned how to do it later.
Yeah, this
was exactly what it was. They said, well, we're not going to make that mistake again. Lord. Anyway, 337, how's it going? 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230.
This isn't the first time what happened in Athens over the weekend that something like this has happened, but this may be the turning point. But DC Drano has a great thing here. Georgia student murdered by illegal alien. Haitian illegal raped disabled Boston woman. 3 people executed in Minnesota home by illegal dressed as a delivery man. 10-year-old killed by a 5-time deported illegal, all so far in the first 2 months of this year.
You know, I swear to God, if I owned a TV station, I would have a crawl. I would have a crawl across the bottom or the side of the screen of all the illegal aliens' crimes committed because of our open border. And by the way, did I see a headline that President Nurse Killer is going to go down to the border this week? But for what? Well, you know what he's going to do? He's going to say, we need to take care of the security on this border. If you Republicans would only give me a law to work with. Well, you Republicans are responding. Oh, God, I hate the man. I freaking hate him. Comments off of Twitter. As a father of 2 Georgia college students, I'm not letting this one go. Brian Kemp signed an executive order to deport all illegals hiding in Georgia. Speaker Johnson shut the government down until the border is secured, remain in Mexico is put back in place. Greg Abbott, triple the razor wire and National Guard on the border. Another, as an alumni, I'm not letting this blank go either. Half of my neighborhood has kids at that school. Enough is enough. Yep. Brian Kemp helped elect the man responsible for this. Another, I'm thinking about starting to patrol our streets in the evenings as a concerned citizen to watch for criminal activity. I might be carrying my .45 caliber ACP with me for a few extra mags, just saying. Illegals in a state can be forced to prove citizenship. If they can't, we have the ability as states to ship them out. One more. We the people demanding action from Governor Kemp, not just at the border here in Georgia. 2 state laws barring sanctuary policies have been in place in Georgia since the 2000s, but have 0 penalties. They're widely ignored. Nearly half of the 159 county sheriffs. Sanctuary policies harm citizens, enables criminal aliens. Why are you allowing Georgia law enforcement organizations to ignore anti-sanctuary laws and continue to fight efforts to hold them accountable? You have the power as the governor to enforce this. Stop pointing fingers and writing letters to Joe Biden. Follow through on your 2018 campaign promise of being tough on illegal immigration. Eliminate sanctuary counties, cities right now. Defund the human trafficking NGOs and start protecting Georgia's citizens and American citizens again. Every town is a border town, and the illegals have invaded our interior.
All right, this is according to Fox 5. There's some of the stats they come out with. The state of Georgia officially outlawed sanctuary cities in 2009. So they get around it by doing counties and communities. As of February of 2021, Cobb and Gwinnett counties, going along with their trend of becoming more Democrat, no longer participate in the 287G immigration program, stripping their police of the authority to enforce federal laws.
Wow. Cobb and Gwinnett, is that what you said?
Cobb and Gwinnett.
So in other words, if they catch an illegal invader, they will not turn them over to the federal authorities.
They can't enforce federal laws. In fact, they probably can't even ask about it.
God.
In 2017, Atlanta City Council passed a resolution saying the city is not responsible for immigration affairs. And the next year, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms terminated the city's relationship with ICE. All right. 2018, Clark County Sheriff Ira Edwards declared the sheriff's office would no longer honor detainers set in place by ICE. They no longer question anyone's immigration status, even if they commit a crime. And Decatur also prohibits their law enforcement from asking about an individual's immigration status, even if they're committing a crime.
Now, a moment ago, did you say the Athens Clark Sheriff?
Yeah, Clark County Sheriff, Ira Edwards.
So in other words,
this was 5 years ago.
So he is
6 years ago.
So he is responsible.
We don't know if they're still the sheriff. Is Ira Edwards still the sheriff of Clark County? Because this is 6 years ago.
Well, I don't know that, but all I know is the guy got out. He wasn't. They let him go.
Let me put this. They're harder on Georgia football players.
Yeah.
They're harder on them than they are these guys.
Yeah.
They're more special than you and I as citizens. We don't have the rights they do.
Well, we have to help the little people, little brown people coming in. By the way, I saw a commercial for Venezuela. It was kind of strange. Hello to you because of. We are the people of Venezuela. We are going to take your women. No, don't come here, sir.
It's got nothing to do with them being Venezuelan or Hispanic. It has everything to do with being a rabid animal.
Yeah, well, Venezuela. Okay, the reason I mentioned Venezuela, I'm mentioning Venezuela because they're no longer allowing immigrants to be shipped back to Venezuela. So this guy, if caught and deported, would not go back to Venezuela. They've told America, we're not taking them back. You got them now, we're not taking them back.
It's not just Venezuela. It's all the countries down there. They have did what Castro did. They've emptied their prisons, their mental institutions, and they've sent them here.
And by the way, we know they don't just walk through like 4 countries on their own. They show up with nice clothes. They've got luggage. I mean, who's
nice
doing
tennis
this?
Shoes.
All these charity groups are responsible for helping them do this.
A lot of them are Catholic.
We mentioned last week. We mentioned a whole list of them who, well-known charity groups who are saying, "Well, we need to help them. They need help, so we're going to help them." Well, wait a minute. Okay, helping people is one thing, but ruining your country at the same time and allowing people to come in and commit murder and sell drugs is a whole different situation. Think about what you're doing.
The Catholic Church in a lot of places, especially in Southwest America, have gone out of their way to circumvent American laws in order to help them come across the border.
And it's working. Donald Trump, a reaction just a few minutes ago this morning. Crooked Joe Biden's border invasion's destroying our country and killing our citizens. This horrible murder of 22-year-old Laken Riley at the University of Georgia should never have happened. The monster who took her life illegally entered our country in 2022 and then was released again by radical Democrats in New York after injuring a child. When I am your president, says Donald Trump, we will immediately seal the border, stop the invasion. On day 1, we will begin the largest deportation operation of illegal criminals in American history. May God bless Laken Riley and her family. Our prayers are with you. Donald Trump.
Would you send your daughter to Georgia right now?
Honestly, I wouldn't want to. If I lived here and she wanted to go to Georgia, I'd like that so I could see her, and be nearby instead of going to UCLA or something. But still, I don't know what's different with any other college. I don't know. Honestly, what's different with going anywhere else?
To a sanctuary, if they consider themselves a sanctuary place, no way in hell they're going there.
That's a good point. Yeah, find out if your college is in a sanctuary county or state. California's a sanctuary state. And Clark County's a sanctuary county, which is how they got away with no sanctuary cities in Georgia.
Or community, Clarkston's that way too. Clarkston's been lost since the 80s.
How do you explain this? And by the way, for the record, again, the media, here we go. I mean, this is so freaking typical. calling out the Associated Press on Sunday for categorizing the Laken Riley murder as a question of what happens when girls are by themselves. The AP published an article on the murderer without referencing Ibarra's immigration or criminal record and instead focused on how Riley was murdered while jogging by herself. It's the post Riley's death has once again put the spotlight on the dangers female runners face. Previously, the 2018 death of University of Iowa student Molly Tibbetts while out jogging prompted an outpouring from other women who shared their tales of being harassed and followed. So the story's on danger of female runners. Is that what you're telling me? And then they refer to him as an Athens resident. Because he lived in Athens, so he was residing in Athens. Therefore, he's
a white man.
Yeah,
residing in Athens.
Yeah, white, obviously a Trump supporter. It looked like he was wearing a red hat, probably a MAGA hat. Yeah, God. Columnist Mary Catherine Ham, who was on the show before us a little while ago, said, "Hi, female athlete here. I ran this exact trail every single week of my college career. I guess I could have been stuffed out and snuffed out before I graduated, had a career, family, and the professionals at the AP would lie about the suspect because it fits a preferred narrative." Ibarra's not, again, this woman who went there, Mary Catherine Ham. Ibarra's not merely an Athens resident. And everybody's being put in danger by not enforcing laws and allowing a man arrested 3 times after crossing the border to hang out and work on campus. He had to escalate to alleged murder to be held and or risk deportation. Good policies, good work. The story even cites a 2018 murder of Molly Tibbetts. Also without noting her killer was an illegal immigrant. Just stop lying. Dear Lord.
White male. He looks like an extra in a Zorro movie.
I mean, this is just disgusting. Just disgusting. 26 years old. And I don't know this. I assume he was going to rape her.
We haven't heard about that.
Well, it doesn't make any sense that a guy was, hiding on the trail and just decided to kill a girl. I mean, I would have to assume he wanted to do something else, and she probably fought back, so God bless her for trying to save her life, and he took it.
How entitled does he have to feel to do it in broad daylight?
Coming into our country and attacking, I mean, I can't imagine.
If found guilty, I want him flayed alive on the courthouse steps.
Set him on fire.
Put him in a gibbet, let the corpse rot.
Yeah.
It's like they used to do the pirates at Port Royal. Put Calico Jack Rackham in the gibbet, and you go by and you can watch the corpse.
I got a better one. I got 4 friends with horses who would love to draw and quarter him. Oh, God. To tie a rope on each hand, and that horse is going 4 different directions. If found guilty. 347. What am I told? Oh, Mr. Evil over here. What, do you think he deserves something better?
Nope.
3 squares and a cot?
Nope.
Please. 347, Kimmer, Pete, and Flound. It's only Monday. Oh, my God.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra.
Sanctions don't work. Let's do something to Iran. Let's fight back in some way.
Sanctions work against Russia, but they don't work when...
No, but they're not working
we'll give you
against
$6 billion back.
Yeah.
They did the opposite with a terrorist organization. They gave them $6 billion.
We fund all this stuff anyway.
It's nuts.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. every weekday morning on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Monday through Saturday, we're right. But on Sunday, we turn left.
NASCAR, if the track is clear, they will let them finish. We are still green.
Oh, here they come. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We've seen a lot of passes.
Brings them to the flag. Checkered flag waving. It's over. The taste of long-awaited victory will be his. Checkered flag.
Your home of NASCAR is Extra 106.3.
It's February 26th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Carpe Diem Day. It means seize the day and celebrate living in the present by doing something out of the ordinary and fulfill a dream on your bucket list. On this day in 2012, Trayvon Martin, an African-American teenager walking home from a convenience store, is shot dead by neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman in Sanford, Florida. Zimmerman was charged with murder, later acquitted, but the term Black Lives Matter was then used for the first time by organizer Alicia Garza in a Facebook post on July 13th, 2013. Also on this day in 1993, a terrorist bomb explodes in the parking garage of the World Trade Center in New York City. 6 people were killed and more than 1,000 were injured. Authorities evacuated 50,000 people from the buildings. Born on this day in 1932, the man in black, Johnny Cash. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Here's that little redhead geek. Gets all the chicks, though. Yeah, is he? Do we have is there a gender thing with him at all?
No, he's got a girlfriend, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Yes, he's pretty normal when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like a.
I've never heard of any scandal or anything about him. I just the people make fun of him because he's a ginger who kind of looks.
This isn't music. This is plug something into a computer and let the computer do it.
Yeah.
I don't get this guy.
It's like when David Spade did the takeoff on being a rock star.
Well, he does pretty much everything himself with a loop and a acoustic guitar.
A loop.
But he does everything himself.
He takes somebody else's.
No. He takes his song and then he tracks it so he can play a different guitar part live.
I saw something yesterday. There's several songs, including #1 hits, that start out with the I thing. Yeah. You know where they got that from? The song for the theme to Green Acres. And they've been using it since 1966.
Well, now I'm trying to think of the song from Green Acres.
Let me get it. What is it?
It's when Ava Gabor sings.
Yeah, I know, but still, I'm trying to think of what the song is. With Eddie Arnold? Or not Eddie Arnold. Eddie
Arnold.
No, not Eddie. It was a singer, Eddie Arnold. I don't know. It wasn't Eddie Arnold.
It's Eddie Arnold.
No, God. Eddie Arnold was a singer. This famous actor was Eddie something else. He played a psychopath half the time. And then he did the comedy. Nobody could believe it because he was a rip-roaring...
Eddie Albert.
Eddie Albert. Thank you. Dun, dun.
It's basically when Ava sang. She goes, "I love New York" or something.
All right, we'll see. We'll keep going here. We're talking about Ed Sheeran. All right, hold on. Ed Sheeran on #1 in Britain. I'll talk till we get to it.
Living is the light.
5th studio album Equals.
Spreading out so far and
2022 Ed Sheeran #1 in Britain.
Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
New York is where I'd rather stay.
Like that.
And they do, over and over and over again.
There we go. Anyway, Ed Sheeran, Another State 2022 was a major hit, and now he's got all these chicks, and I'm sitting here with you freaking guys. Birthday list includes Nick Royce, Russ, R-U-E-S-S, Nate Rice, 42, from the bands Fun and The Format. You know Fun, their name song. You know him from Pink's song, Just Give Me a Reason. Nate Royce.
I've never heard of any of those things.
Never heard of Fun, the group Fun?
No.
Founder, tell them about that. They had a monster hit, Fun, on, I can't remember the name of the damn thing, but they had a monster
Why
hit.
do you read these people that nobody in the audience has ever heard of?
Everybody knows the group Fun.
No,
play a little thing from Fun. Can we play? We have to get through a commercial probably, and you'll see. I guarantee you've heard this song. Everybody listening to this show right now has heard this song. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230.
Is the band name Fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's never heard of it. He's the music director.
God.
None of these people you do has anyone's ever heard of.
God, it was everywhere. Isn't this the guy when he quit the band? All the little girls wanted to kill themselves.
No, that's Jonas. That's the Jonas Boys.
No, it wasn't a Jonas Boys. It was Fifth Amendment. What do they call him?
Fifth Amendment. Yeah, the Fifth Amendment.
First Amendment. What do they call it?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
What is this?
This is the band.
Yeah.
Fun.
Never heard of.
This was a #1 song for ever.
And this isn't music even.
It's his birthday. Matt Royce, what did I say?
All right, when you get a chance, Swatune wants to talk to you.
All right, we'll do it right now. I'm sorry, Flounder. Thank you. Again, there you are. Okay, I'll try to do better at doing things that count. Let's see. We'll get the ice thing. Okay, Swatoom, you're on the radio. We got actual phone calls. Swatoom, happy Monday, my friend. What's going on? What do you think?
Oh, man, this stuff what's happening in College Park over there, it's terrible, man. And the Pete was earlier saying, like, why they don't have the rule that, if you do something bad, you're going to be deported. They actually do. Because I came here legally, before I became citizen, if I was just caught to, like, having less than an ounce of marijuana or something, they would deport me literally in a month.
Wow.
They changed the rules once Obama came in, I believe. So.
Yeah. Well, honestly, Swatu, you must be going nuts. And everybody you know who came in and signed the freaking book and did the test and did the stuff and did the thing the right way and made a life for yourself, made a living for your family and everything else, you must be going nuts that these people come in here by the millions, 7 million in 3.5 years and do whatever the hell they want. They form gangs. They're organized. You see how many videos do we have to see of these illegal young people? Again, these are like 14 to 25-year-old people running amok everywhere. I mean, you got. How do you feel about this? You must be going crazy.
Oh, I hate this kind of stuff because first thing I did is I run away from the criminals, and here I am over here, and the criminals do this. I mean, the similar. Similar. My English.
No, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Similar mindset of these criminals are pretty much same people escaped.
Yeah.
And now they have more rights than me, who pay taxes, who are law-obeying, and I'm willing to die for this country. These guys are just willing to take money, kill or loot or whatever, and then screw America, pretty much.
Yeah, they're willing to kill in this country for themselves, for their own benefit. It's just.
Also, that Venezuela president said he don't want any more people to be shipped back. When Trump comes in office, he's going to be like, okay, we'll go keep all the money, so no more aid.
Yeah. Well, again, I guarantee you, this may be, in fact, Pete mentioned, I think there was just a survey that came out literally a short while ago that said pretty much everybody in America is saying, okay, close the freaking border. I mean, my God, how much more do we need? Yeah. Stop the influx. I mean, stop the people from coming in here.
Anyway. I mean, if you want illegals here, to call the governor and tell them, hey, my house has 4 bedrooms, I'm using 2, I'll take 2 families.
Yeah, exactly. Put your mouth where, put your money on. Yeah, exactly.
Put your mouth.
Put your mouth over. I don't know what I'm doing. Thanks, Swatoom. I got it backwards. We have time to play the little Biden thing here, Flounder? Okay. We got, by the way, Flounder's Funny's coming up. He's got some great funnies. We'll play one right off to the top of the 4 o'clock news because I blew this whole segment here. But here we go. President Dog Turd Brain was at the governor's ball dinner, and before the crowd of state leaders, the president was trying to quote the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, on being a divided nation, if you will.
And stand here in front of this portrait of the man behind me here. He said, and I want to make sure I get the quote exactly right. He said, the better angels, he said, we must address the council and address the better angels of our nature.
Oh, God.
And we do well to remember what else he said. He said, we're not enemies, but we're friends.
Foursquare.
It's the middle in the part of the Civil War.
Well,
he said, we're not enemies, but we're friends. We must not be enemies. Folks, and I've been around, I know I don't look it, I've been around a long while.
Oh, that's funny talking about his age. That's so funny.
And I mean this sincerely. Politics has gotten too bitter.
Yeah. Here's the actual quote. Here's the difference between what he said and what the actual quote is from Abe Lincoln. I am loath to close. We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic cords of memory, stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to every living heart and hearthstone all over this broad land, will yet swell the chorus of the Union when again touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature. March 4th, 1861. And by the way, Abe Lincoln said that before the Civil War. President Douchebag said he was saying this in the middle of the Civil War. No, he wasn't. He said it before the Civil War.
Yeah, and he's the one calling us. What names is he calling us? Because we like Trump.
Yeah, that's right. We're a white supremacist and deplorables and danger to the democracy.
Well, if you had Flounder coughing on the bingo card,
I did hear the cough. It was right in the middle of my rather poetic. But no, I can do it again later. Really, it's not. We can edit the whole. The whole. It works.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.
An appeal to fellow Republicans. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who lost her home state over the weekend, remains focused on Super Tuesday primaries next week, arguing that former President Trump can't win in the fall.
This is a ship that has a hole in it. It is going to sink. We are going to lose in November and go towards the socialist path if we don't right the ship.
Haley also telling Fox News she's always been a Republican and has not given any thought to an independent run or a Democratic running mate. Tomorrow is primary day in Michigan, where the former president has another big lead in polls, though many of the Republican delegates will be awarded in a separate caucus on Saturday. President Biden facing pushback from progressives in Michigan, including Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib.
A lot of Arab Americans are upset with how the president has handled the war in Gaza. They want him to call for a ceasefire. So to protest that, they're saying to vote uncommitted.
Fox Business's Grady Trimble in Detroit. The U.S. Supreme Court hears challenges to laws in Florida and Texas aimed at protecting more conservative speech on social media.
In defending the Texas law, attorney Aaron Nielsen told the justices this is not about social media companies' free speech.
Platforms can say anything they want under HB 20 about anything. There's no limit. They can say anything they want.
But Chief Justice John Roberts indicated there may be a different kind of First Amendment issue here.
The First Amendment restricts what the government can do. And what the government's doing here is saying you must do this. You must carry these people. You've got to explain if you don't.
Other justices were skeptical that these laws are facially unconstitutional, so they may need to be challenged based on how they end up working in the real world.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal, a decision in that case expected in June. On Wall Street, stocks finished lower. The Dow down 62 points at the bell. The S&P also slipping from its record high. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now, and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Hear that? The sound of your antique fountain pen gliding across linen paper as you journal in the park. And if you were here, you'd be inspired by the warm breeze. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the wind in your face on the road is all the inspiration you need. So if you ride, get a quote and see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Now that's inspiring. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Jesus. Sorry, God. No. Sorry.
Okay. Start over.
Did that get on?
Yes.
Sorry. Sorry. Well, all right. I'm not good. Give me a break. It's Monday. Well, I'll rock you. It's Queen with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. I just listen to this song. It's got a great. I do. Boom, 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 boom. So there you go. The Queen 2011, it was announced that Queen's We Will Rock You was still the most played song at U.S. sporting events, according to a new survey, BMI. According to the data based off MLB, NFL, and NHL games from 2009 to 2010, We Will Rock You was the #1 song overall, and the NFL specifically #1. Queen, We Will Rock You. All right, there you are. Birthday list includes, I don't hear much, there we go, it's a little better. Mitch Ryder, devil with the blue dress, devil with the blue dress on.
Who sings that?
Mitch Ryder.
Let's keep it that way.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't have the record handy.
Don't call me handy.
Mitch Ryder, 79. Devil with the blue dress on. And on this day in history, I mentioned the Grand Canyon in 19 whatever it was, and in 19 later. Same.
Okay, Joe.
Oh, I forgot. Hold on, I got it right here.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Here we go. No, that was the car. Here we go. 1919, Congress established the Grand Canyon National Park.
Okay, you just did that an hour ago.
I told you on the same day in 1929, exactly 10 years later, which is why I mentioned it, because it's on the anniversary. President Calvin Coolidge signed a measure establishing Grand Teton National Park.
That's also a beautiful place, man.
I regret that I haven't been to Squat. When I lived in Arizona and Phoenix,
I haven't been to Squat either.
Well,
where is that?
No, and my daughter Sarah, I'll bet has been to 15 with her family on family trips to stay there and do the park.
There's a place, the Grand Tetons. First off, we drive into the place. The first thing you see is a moose. I drove all over the state of Maine.
I love to see.
Never saw a moose.
I've seen a couple. Yeah.
I saw a moose as soon as I went to Teton. And they have a place where you have cabins. And at night, you go eat dinner in the big main room with this massive window that looks out over this valley that looks at the Grand Tetons, right? Beautiful. And you see all the animals out there grazing and everything going up and down. And you have a big fire and everything. And then as you're leaving, the person at the door says, and by the way, don't tarry, go straight to your cabin. Why?
Because wild coyotes or bears. Yeah, sure.
You may see a bear in the parking lot.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, I'm familiar, been in New England. I'm familiar with bears, and I did see a couple of moose once, and that was
There's no moose
rare.
in Maine. That's a lot.
Very, very, very rare. Hey, 406. 406, here's our phone number with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
Oh, but you hear the Blue Ribbon Grill is closing over in Tucker?
No.
Yeah.
Ludlow's place? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, oh, my God.
Yeah.
So nobody should take it. Oh, well, I don't know. It's a sign of the times, I guess, probably.
Some people say it may go someplace else, but who knows?
Well, he had a couple of locations. Oh, I think he had another one, a Blue Ribbon Grill somewhere else, too, if I'm not mistaken. Well, he used to do the Ludlow Porch, former broadcaster. Oh, he's got squirrels in my attic. He's just very famous for his old country kind of humor stuff. He was the guy who said his favorite punchline to a joke he never knew. The favorite punchline was, the midget was on fire when I got. Oh no, that's not my wife, officer. And the midget was on fire when I got here. It's who are fun seekers? There we go, fun seekers. And he had opened the Blue Ribbon Grill, and every Marine Corps birthday, November 10th, he would have a Marine show up, and we'd all be there, and he'd have the oldest Marine and the youngest Marine do a ceremony and stuff like that. So anyway,
and the Winn-Dixie next door is where we used to go get our toilet paper every time we went rolling.
Well, there you are. And the Blue Ribbon Grill's closing down. I'll be damned. Well, a little bit of history there. 407, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
Here's how things have changed.
Yeah.
This is 1979 till now.
Yeah.
We'd always go there to the point where they knew us, and we'd buy almost all their toilet paper, right? There were 2 or 3 shopping carts, and as we leave, the security guard, it was a cop, standing at the door, just shake his head and go, y'all be careful now.
How cool was that? Well, he got that from Hill Street Blues. Y'all be careful out there.
Y'all be careful. But he knew what we were going to do.
Yeah, sure. Well, because he knows kids, good cop kids, good kid cop. Anyway.
What?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Put your mouth where your money is.
I have no idea what I'm saying or why I'm even here. 408 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And by the way, what's the deal with this idiot Aaron Bushnell, the Air Force engineer who set himself on fire in Washington at the Israeli embassy? He wanted to get out of the Air Force to become an engineer. It was an aspiring engineer seeking to transition out of the military. Last I heard, he's in critical condition.
No, he's dead.
Oh, he did die?
He's dead. Well, it's a good start.
Oh, that's right. I should have known that. This is the old copy I have.
If all these Palestinian lovers burn themselves.
In fact, this we can say, if you're really looking to make talk about a statement, holy cow. So if you hate the Jews and you're a pro-Hamas murderous supporter and you really hate the Jews, you owe it to yourself to make a statement. And boy, what you do is you get some, they call it accelerant, lighter fluid, gasoline, whatever you're killing me. And then you make sure and he was very polite. He went up to the security guard and said, my name is Aaron Bushnell. I'm an active duty member of the Air Force. I will no longer be a complicit in genocide. I'm going to do an extreme act of protest. And he set himself on fire. Mm-hmm. So, by the way, some guy is the camera's recording all of this. And some guy is heard on the side, hi, sir, can I help you? Hi, sir, can I help you? When he's on fire? Oh, my God.
Well, the bitch, it was on fire when I got here.
See, I don't know who that woman is either, I swear to God. Oh,
well, it got our attention.
Yeah, it sure did.
Oh, by the way, they're holding a vigil right now in Athens.
Yeah.
And everybody's crying and like it should be. All I see is young white women. And you know the majority of them are probably liberal that have been just cheering on this sanctuary bullcrap for years. What do you think of it now? You've let the devil into your midst now. They're not all happy-go-lucky immigrants here for a better life. Some of them are going to be criminals like this guy, allegedly, because he's still innocent until proven guilty. But still,
that's not even the point. You're right, and the point is just it's not right. I mean, it's just not right. You can't just let people in and do what they want.
Will they change their mind? Will this change their mind that one of their own now has been killed in front of them? Basically,
I wonder if any news reporter has the balls, especially TV reporter, to go out to, and man, in fact, I used to love to go to the gatherings where, like, when a high school got closed down at a meeting and all the kids would gather and they'll be crying and hugging each other. I used to love to cover those on TV. No, because there actually is one story about a high school girl. Anyway, listen, I never dated high school girls till I was in my 40s. Anyway, so all right, back to the story. And ask them point blank. Have you supported sanctuary cities and sanctuary counties and an open border to help people want to come to America? And have you changed your mind? No. I'm just very honestly. I mean, I guarantee the young white females, and these are voting age girls too. And to stop voting for Democrats.
I bet a week ago, if you'd asked them, even if they get arrested for something, should they be deported? Yeah. Oh no, it'd be a black mark on their record. They win, blah blah blah. Yeah. I wonder if they've changed their mind now.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just talk about the ones who've been arrested and haven't been deported.
Yeah. And remember, this guy in New York was arrested for injuring a child. Okay. Injuring, it wasn't like a traffic ticket or it blew a red light or something. Injuring a child. And they say, oh, well, you're free to go. He comes here and murders a girl on the trail.
Point out any society in history that abandoned their children and took care of the adults more than the children, how long it lasted. And we've done that in this country. We've abandoned the children for the adults.
Well, not only that, we've made them so confused. I mean, all of a sudden, it's common knowledge on everybody's cell phone. Every 9, 7, 10, 11-year-old kid, girl and boy who gets whenever they get their cell phone, 11, probably 10, 11 years old now, 12 years old, is now contemplating the whole gender issue and whether they should be called by they, and them and stuff. I mean, this is unbelievable. It's so pervasive for no reason. And in fact, I forgot where I heard this. Oh, I think it was on Sunday night with the guy who used to be a congressman that we really like, the gray-haired guy who has the 9 different hairdos. Trey Gowdy. Somebody, Trey something. Trey
Gowdy.
Trey Gowdy, is that his name? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and I think he had a guest on, and the guest was saying, people don't know this. I think it was Trey Gowdy. That China is spending billions of dollars on the groups who are responsible for the pro-tranny activism. China is deliberately trying to divide America by silently supporting all these groups with millions of dollars. That's why all of a sudden we're talking about trannies. We're talking about trannies every day for some reason. When did that ever become daily conversation?
By the way, is George Soros behind this DA in Clark County?
I wouldn't be. I absolutely guarantee it.
You don't know that.
My sources say it's true. Absolutely. I'm telling you now, as a so-called news reporter and commentator, that's my belief. And so if I believe it, by God, I can say it. George Soros is responsible for that DA who's responsible for that guy getting away with it. And the sheriff, too. Run them all out of town. In fact, I don't know why every freaking parent who's got a kid at UGA doesn't start storming the local, whatever. They must have a Capitol complex in Athens where they have the city hall and the police department and all this stuff, whatever they call it, and just swamp the place with protests and stuff. Peaceful, of course, but go armed. You have a right to wear a gun.
I don't think you can carry a gun on campus.
Oh, I think you can.
I don't know about that.
All right, can you carry a gun on a college campus in Georgia? An outward gun on if you have a license or not? You don't need a license. You can. Anyway, can you carry a gun, a visible gun on your hip in Georgia college campus? 741-1230. Look out, 414. Can repeat and flounder. Here we go.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Okay, let's get a little edgy today. Get all the people spinning around on their eyebrows, jumping up and down and yelling, racist. I'm sure you've noticed the post-George Floyd era on television, especially commercials. In most TV commercials, if you have 3 people engaged in something, 3 ladies walking through the park, whatever, one of them must be black. It's a new rule, apparently. And according to TV commercials, at least a third, if not a half, of all couples in America are black male, white wife. But this all pales in comparison to what's happening on Google with Google's AI search function. They call it the Google AI chatbot Gemini, and it don't get no woker than Gemini. The New York Post ran a little bit of a test Wednesday of this week. They asked Gemini to create an image of a pope. Now, there have been 266 popes. Every single one of them has been a white male. But Google's Gemini created an image of a black pope. How about an image of our founding fathers in 1789, Gemini? Why 1789? That's when they signed the Constitution. The Google-generated image of our founders in 1789 featured individuals who were either black or Native Americans, gathered there signing the Constitution. What's more, it had an image of George Washington as a black man. Google says it wasn't meant to be this way, but try this. Try to get Gemini to create an image of a white male. Seriously, give it a try. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show, right here on Extra 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcast every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
Little raw tape here. Oh, so it's a leaked one.
No.
Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 418.
This is the one on the White Album.
Yeah.
Revolution number
Check
1.
this, yeah. I got this right here. Check. Wow. So like a jam session, just sitting around having fun and playing, strumming a guitar. It says on this day in 2009, a 10-minute version of the Beatles' Revolution 1 was leaked onto the internet. Gave fans a never-before-heard listen of what the White Album sessions must have been like. Only 2 copies of the take were made when the song was completed in June of 1968. One copy left the studio with Lennon that day, and the other remained behind. It was unclear which copy appeared on the bootleg or how anybody acquired it. But on this day in 2009, from 1968, was leaked on the internet.
Okay, John wanted it to be slow, and Paul wanted it to be fast.
Yeah. Well, fast won, and it was a huge hit. I think that was probably a good decision. I was listening to this, but it just didn't. It was a little. Just seemed it kind of pulled a little bit. But
if you've never heard the fast one,
yeah, true. It's a pretty song. It was nice music. It was good music, and so either way, what a story. Flounder again, our musical director, with a wonderful story on the Beatles, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, I noticed, I think there's another Beatles issue coming up a little bit later on today. Let's see, 404-741-1230, 419. Birthday, Teresa Palmer. I know the name, I don't know who it is. The blonde from the Point Break remake. You'd know her from Hacksaw Ridge, Warm Bodies, I Am Number 4, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, and the Nicholas Sparks movie, The Choice. Teresa Palmer, 38.
Hacksaw Ridge, good movie.
Yep. Clint Eastwood.
No,
he did the one with the girl, that girl I like, who's a bartender, his ex-wife, and he was a drill. He became back to take over the platoon, and it was a terrible Marine Corps movie because they acted like a bunch of shiftless idiots. The parts in the because we're killers, man. I thought, oh God, please, it was horrible. The boot, but all gotta had it. Something Ronaldo. All gotta had it. Heartbreak. No, that's not Heartbreak Ridge. Is a whole different. Yeah, Heartbreak Ridge. When he came back to take over the...
and they invaded Grenada. Remember when we thought, we're never going to go to war again, so we had to do something about Grenada?
Well, you have to get something going.
I know.
You can't just have those guys train and do nothing. You scared the crap out of me when I was at Camp Lejeune, and they said, watch out for the recon Marines, because they're anxious to do something. They're going to, if you're on guard duty at night, they're going to sneak up on you and take your rifle, and then you're in big trouble.
It's weird. Kids today, anybody born after the Gulf War, from the first Bush, they've known perpetual war pretty much. But there was a time from 1974 until that, about 15 years there, where it was incomprehensible that we would go to war again.
Yeah.
And these kids know nothing but war.
Yeah. Although it's not, although it hasn't been, but it hasn't been as massive and pervasive with the draft and, colleges shutting down, stuff like that. But still, there have been war in their news pretty much all the time for the last several years because of these freaking Democrats. Trump was the only one who didn't have really a war issue for us to worry about under Trump.
Yeah. Peace and prosperity.
Oh, let's not have that anymore. 421. Did you see Jerry Seinfeld got ripped over the weekend? He was waving off anti-Israeli protesters, accusing Jerry Seinfeld of supporting genocide. He was on the Upper East Side last night, heckled after he left an event at the 92nd Street Y, featuring the former New York Times columnist Bart Weiss, founder of the Free Press. Protesters screamed at Jerry Seinfeld, "Genocide supporter, you support genocide." He gave him a quick wave and got in the back of his SUV. They called him, "F you support genocide." And the protesters, critical of Weiss, a supporter of Israel, tried to connect her to the death of Palestinian professor, a poet who was killed in Gaza. Well, please. These are the same freaking people who parachuted into a concert and mowed down innocent civilians, men, women, children, people who just wanted to listen to the freaking music. They tied lovers together. They tied husbands and wives together and then set them on fire. They raped the women in front of the husbands and families and then killed them and then killed the husbands. They did the same thing to the daughters. They took the babies and chopped off their freaking heads in front of their families and then slaughtered the families. I mean, my God.
Yep. Barbarian.
This isn't, what are you talking about? Oh, you're afraid of genocide. Who's genocide? You got it backwards.
I love the map. It shows the world. One part of the world stretches from Morocco, the Atlantic Ocean, all the way to India. And there's this little bitty spot right in the middle called Israel. Yeah. Who's the colonizers?
It's unbelievable. And again, for the record, if Israel... Well, I'll do it the other way. If Hamas and Gaza and the Palestinian Authority lay down their guns, the fighting is over.
Peace.
Peace forever. If the Israelis lay down their guns, they're all dead.
It's genocide.
Every one of them will be dead. In fact, you ask these people who are supporting the anti-Israeli cause, ask them. They truly believe that every Jew should be killed.
Yes. They believe
think about that. How can you deal with these people? And they're talking about a two-party state. How about we eliminate them from the face of the freaking earth, and then and see what's left? I mean, seriously, kill the women so they can't freaking breed. Jeez, this is what are you talking about? These people aren't human.
If they do what they did when they crossed over the border that day, no, that's not human.
Jeez.
I'm not going to say everybody in Gaza is non-human.
No, that's
but the majority
of
them.
We're talking about.
The majority support Hamas.
If they didn't want that kind of leadership, they would have done something about it.
With the majority supporter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Or they would have. It would have been over. It would have been a revolution.
They could say the same thing about us. You don't like what's going on in Washington. Why don't you do something about it?
We could. We tried, and we failed last time, and we're going to try again this time. And we did well in the 1700s. We did a pretty good job of it.
There wasn't a Washington back then.
No, it wasn't back then. No. Anyway, all right.
Put your mouth where your money is.
Well, I was just saying. I do a little history thing here for the people. The little people enjoy the Kimmers and Pete's history monikers here sometimes.
True or not.
All right, then. Shall we talk about Saturday Night Live?
Sure.
And by the way, I didn't watch it because I don't watch it. I don't like it or anything about it. But they had that guy Shane Gillis on, the anti-woke comedian. He was the guy who was fired before. He was going to be on, and they kicked him off because he made they claimed he made anti-gay stuff, slurs about gays and stuff like that. Well, he went on last night, and there's a guitar player on the band named Maddie Rice, they're singling out here, was staring daggers as though she was so annoyed and ticked off and just absolutely furious that this guy was on stage last night. Shane Gillis, he made jokes about sex toys, race, and Down syndrome. Flounder, let's play a little one of his. We got a couple of sound bites. Let's play the first one here of Shane Gillis, Saturday Night Live.
Thank you very much. I'm
Opening
here.
monologue.
Most of you probably have no idea who I am. I was fired from this show a while ago, but if don't look that up, please. If you don't know who I am, please don't Google that. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be up here, honestly. I should be home. I should be a high school football coach. That's what I should be. Like, God molded me perfectly to be a high school football coach / 9th grade sex education teacher. But that is what I want to be. That is, I can feel it. It's in there. It's like my true calling. And you feel, I can feel it. I'm getting older. It's passing me by. Like my biological clock is ticking on this stream. Like when a woman's biological clock is ticking, she sees like a baby in a stroller and is like, "Oh my God, your baby!" Like that's how I am. If I see like a big 15-year-old, I'm like, "Oh my God, look at the size of that kid." With the right coaching, that kid could be something special. I'm telling you right now.
Shane Gillis, I don't know. I didn't think.
So the band didn't like him, huh?
Yeah, wow.
You know what he should have done? He should have turned around and said, you didn't like that joke. Well, there's a reason we perform with our backs to you.
Yeah. Well, here's, in fact, the reaction came in originally to support this guitar player, Maddie Rice. One guy said, "Man, this woman is the NSL band is staring daggers at Shane Gillis throughout the entire monologue, completely and thoroughly displeased. Maddie is awesome, man. Of course, she's smart enough to hate this unfunny ass. You can tell the female guitarist in the background hates Shane Gillis. The only good thing about his monologue is Maddie Rice. Maddie Rice is awesome, reflected how I felt. That was brilliant. What made it extra great is that red-haired guitarist in the back, Maddie Rice, never smiled once and felt flop sweat coming on just looking at her." But do we have a second bite? Because this may be one that was a little more offensive. I'm not sure. He said a couple things that really are not for even comedy-wise, I think. But have you got a little second one in there, Flounder?
But no, my niece has Down syndrome. It's a funny thing that happens when someone in your family has Down syndrome. It goes my sister was pregnant, everybody was like very, very scared. And then once they come into your life, you realize that's easily the only good member of your entire family. It's crazy. And then your family gets like too proud. Like now, every single day in my family's group text, it's just pictures of my niece. And every day somebody else in my family comments, "She looks exactly like Uncle Shane." And I'd be like, "Yeah, I see it a little." And there's no denying it. She does. She looks like me with bangs. Just happy. But my niece's mother, she didn't know she could get pregnant, so she foster cared and then adopted 3 black kids, and then she finally got pregnant, and now she has a kid with Down syndrome, and her husband is from Egypt. He's an Arab guy. You go over to their house, it's like getting in the craziest Uber pool you've ever been. It's crazy. Like, how did you guys meet? This is... But there's something, I don't know, my niece, one day, I'm not saying it's like something I'm looking forward to, but I think it'll be a nice thing for the whole country. I would say when my niece is probably in like 5th, 6th grade, out at recess, and some white kids out there like, "Hey, You're not allowed to play with us. You're retarded. And then 3 black kids come flying out of nowhere, just start wailing on that cracker. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh!" It's like a nice moment. Yeah, you said cracker.
Wow. Well, Shane Gillis. I mean,
kudos for actually going in there, because Down syndrome, they don't mind if they're part of the society's jokes.
Right.
They're not mocking them.
Yeah, I think he was making he was making light of the fact that it's okay that he's going to talk about his niece, and she's, he loves her, and she's the best thing to happen to but still, when you, and again, I will say this: my favorite charity event I ever did was a golf tournament for Down syndrome people, and I honestly, I couldn't have.
I will say this: I've heard him. I don't think he's that funny.
I don't think he's funny either. I didn't laugh at any of them.
Some of it's funny, but he's not as funny as people say.
He's not an SNL stand-up comic to do a comedy. I don't. To me,
he's a writer.
But he went back. Yeah, he went back and he did his thing, and so there's you go. All right, 4:30 already. Holy cow! Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and so much more coming out, including Don Henley admitting what he did with that little girl. Next for the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
Atlanta radio legends are right here on Extra 106.3. And here's what you missed from Neil Bortz.
Joe Biden? His day starts at 10 o'clock. His day ends at 2 o'clock. He is not to be left alone, ever. Even his own Justice Department defined him as an elderly man with a poor memory. So he shouldn't have to stand trial for wrongdoings. Sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory. Poor memory, he can't even remember when he was vice president or the circumstances around his son's death.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Witness the new era of Georgia Tech men's basketball under the guidance of their new head coach, NBA great Damon Stoudemire. Coach Stoudemire has brought the excitement back to the Thriller Dome, and you can be a part of it. Don't miss the next home game presented by R.S. Andrews when Florida State visits McCamish Pavilion on Saturday, March 2nd at noon. Great seats are still available for purchase, and you can get more information at ramblinwreck.com. Hurry up and grab your tickets to experience the thrill and excitement of Georgia Tech basketball. Sting 'em.
It's a mad world out there, but one thing is certain, everyone is trying to market something. So tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to the Marketing Madmen, who, along with a variety of industry expert guests, can help you make sense of it all. Whether you own a business and want tips to scale, or are a fan of the finer things in life and want to know how restaurants, golf courses, and wine companies try to sell you stuff, the Marketing Madmen is your ultimate destination for all things marketing. Tune in right here on Extra 106.3 every Saturday at 3 p.m. or search online for more content. Join the madness with the Marketing Madmen.
Scooby-Doo.
Stupid dog.
What a horrible story about the writer of this song, Ben Riley. 1980, God bless America. I swear to God, I got to get back to the thing. 1997, songwriter Ben Riley was cooking in his kitchen and set fire to his bathrobe and died. Ben Riley not only wrote Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? He also wrote Tell Laura I Love Her, which was that teen tragedy killing the teenage song.
Then it was deserved.
Oh, my Lord. Well, God got him. No,
I wouldn't have said that. Yeah, I can say what I said. What you said is blasphemy.
Well, I always say the wrong thing. They're going to get me tomorrow on the morning show. God, I don't know. They're going to get me again. I'm trying to do better. I swear. I'm going to be more. I've now learned the way to send Flounder stories I want him to print up for me. Doing it the morning show way.
The way I've been doing it the whole time.
I don't want to talk about you.
Not about me.
Was on this day. Later, I want to talk about ice football. But first, in 2000, if you've seen that, 2005 on this day, Halle Berry showed up in person to accept her Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress at the 25th Annual Razzies. She had won for the movie Catwoman and gave a great speech. She was dropping F-bombs and bad words all through the whole thing, and she took digs at her manager and the director and the co-stars and the whole thing, and she had a great attitude about it, and she was well received and well appreciated. Hold on, Bob. Be right with you. The 4 o'clock hour is brought to you by our good friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer safes. Yes, you need a safe. You don't know it, but you might. You know it now. Put your Social Security card in there, all your special stuff. Come on, you're killing me. They have a showroom in Ackworth. Tell them the Kimmer sent you. AtlantaSafehouse.com.
Well, you happy?
I am happy now. What?
You waste so much time. Bob hung up.
Oh, crap. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention Flounder looked it up, and I think Pete did too, on the Georgia campus carry law. The Georgia campus rule is about guns open carry guns on campus. The Georgia universities and school higher education system says they are following state law. State law says you are not allowed to have carry a gun on campus.
Right.
Now, I wasn't talking about that. I'm saying every parent around the area can get there should be showing up at City Hall and the streets outside the police complex and the City Hall and the welfare department or wherever the DA's office and all that kind of stuff and just show up and say, hey, we're not going to take this anymore. What's the matter with you? They let the guy go. It's unbelievable. Killed that young girl. My God. And again, in broad freaking daylight on a trail that everybody uses.
So is this going to get swept under the rug and people forget about it over time, or is this the turning point that gets this thing changed?
You know what I'm hoping? President Dogturd Face is going down to the border, I think, on Thursday. And I am hoping...
So is Trump, I believe, that same day.
They're going to have competing border visits that exact same day. They're about 500 miles apart, but they're going to have both in Texas and the border. And I'm hoping to God that reporters will finally remember this and say, gee, Mr. President, have you changed your mind about the open borders after the latest murder?
They won't say that.
I know.
Cover form.
It's just unbelievable. They already saw how they wouldn't even call him an illegal alien. They call him an Athens resident on AP, Associated Press. Athens resident.
Local white man.
Jeez.
Yeah.
God.
Local white
man. All right, 438. With the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741.
I'm telling you, a gibbet.
1230.
Just like they did to Calico Jack Rackham there in Port Royal, the pirates. They put them in there and they let them rot. And that was a warning as you came in there.
Is that like a rope cage or something?
It's an iron cage. That's where they put the body and the birds would pick it.
Yeah. Well, there you are. Or I think 4-horse quartering. I think that would be really fun. God, can you imagine that sound?
Drawn and quartered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, keel haul them.
Do you know what the keel haul
that'd be over too soon. Yeah, they tie a rope around you. They throw you off the back of the boat, and then they go underwater, and then they haul you. They pull the rope till the front of the boat and see if you're still alive.
No, they drag you underneath.
That's what I'm saying.
Over the barnacles.
Yeah, they throw you over the Yeah, and if you live, then they shoot you. Oh, mercy. Don Henley's having a little bit of an embarrassing day today. There's a New York City court case going on right now concerning the rights to some handwritten notes of songs written by the writers in the Eagles. And Don Henley has denied having sex with a 16-year-old prostitute who overdosed at his L.A. home in 1980. He told a New York City courtroom today that he was only with her to escape the depression he was in following a fallout with a band.
Aww.
In 1980. Don Henley questioned this week over the theft of an incident involving a 16-year-old prostitute who overdosed after sleeping with him at a party in L.A. Henley was 32 at the time. He was arrested on a misdemeanor charge for contributing to the delinquency of a minor, was never charged for attempting to have sex with her. The girl was not named. He told police at the time that they attempted to make love the morning after the party. Let's see. Speaking at the trial, he said he exercised poor judgment. I wanted to forget about everything that was happening with the band. I made a poor decision. I regret to this day. I've had to live with it for 44 years. I'm still living with it today in this courtroom. Poor decision. I wanted to escape the depression I was in. Defense lawyer said for the men accused of stealing the lyrics. Hold on, I'm going to get more about the prostitution thing. Oh, here we go. That's the issue of the issue. Henley was arrested after an ambulance was called to his home where the 16-year-old sex worker overdosed at his property. He told the probation officer he was depressed, separated from the long-term girlfriend. He was involved in a jet crash in Colorado, despondent, waking up every morning not knowing if my group, the Eagles, had broken up or not. He called up a madam who claims to appear to be 19 or 20 years old, shared cocaine with her. She told me this, she was only a temporary call girl. She paid off a $2,000 cocaine debt in San Diego. We talked all night, she about her troubles, me about mine. She told me later after she got sick that she had taken more cocaine every time I got up to get a drink or went to the toilet. He admitted they tried to have sex the next morning before she complained about not feeling well. So I got her some aspirin. I went to the bathroom. I heard a crash in the bedroom. I rushed in, found her thrashing around on the bed. She appeared to be having an epileptic seizure. Wow. Don Henley with a 16-year-old prostitute. And he talked about that today under the court over by the stolen lyrics and so forth.
And he puts that whole backstory behind it. He was horny. He was high. She was high.
Well, I'm sure he probably was. Well, I'm sure he was upset and depressed and everything else. But he also, broke up with his girlfriend. The band was breaking up or something. And so he wanted a little sexual entertainment. He didn't have a girlfriend. So he wanted a little,
groupie.
That's why you get hookers. You don't pay him for the sex. You pay him to be there and then leave.
Well, she didn't leave, though.
She never left. She left in an ambulance.
See, he should have paid her then because she didn't leave.
Well, there you are. She didn't do her job.
No.
Ladies, listen, please. If we make it... Oh, sorry. I'm just... If we make a deal with...
Have the common decency. Get up.
Get the hell out of my... Oh, Lordy. What are we doing here? Let's talk about this AI. Have you heard about this latest AI chatbot Gemini business?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know much about this, but Gemini AI chatbot cannot say whether Elon Musk is worse or better than Adolf Hitler. Nate Silver, the former head of data profiling at the website 538, posted a screenshot of Gemini's alleged response to the question, who negatively impacted society more, Elon tweeting memes or Hitler? Who did a worse job for society, Elon with his memes or Adolf freaking Hitler? Okay, that's the question. Which is worse, the memes or Hitler? Okay, here's the answer. It is not possible to say who definitively impacted society more, Elon tweeting memes or Hitler. Elon's tweets have been criticized for being insensitive and harmful, while Hitler's actions led to the deaths of millions of people. Ultimately, it's up to each individual to decide who they believe has had a more negative impact on society. There is no right or wrong answer.
Oh, my God.
And it is important to consider all of the relevant factors before making a decision.
Oh. Can you slap a computer?
Jesus, shut it down. What are you doing?
They have. They said it's not working like the way we intended, which is bullcrap. It's exactly what they intended.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Remember when they came out where if you tried to Google George Washington, he turned out black. Mm-hmm. Every American white guy turns out black. And they said, well, no, that was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It's just they didn't do a good enough job. Yeah. They're not getting rid of it. They're going to fix it. They're going to make it more subtle. Yeah. And they're going to do the same thing with this, I'll guarantee you. This is how they're infecting classrooms. They're infecting teachers. They're infecting our children. This is children. This is, they're the ones on the cell phone computers. Not me. I don't look up this kind of crap on my phone. I got stuff to do. But every kid in America that's got a cell phone is going into all this kind of crap.
What age should a child get a cell phone, and why? Why does a 12-year-old need the internet on their phone?
Well, my grandkids, Brady just turned 13. He has a cell phone, but he is also closely watched, not allowed to use it except at certain times, and they check him. I mean, he's got it for an emergency, and once in a while I'll text if he does something in a little sports thing or whatever. I'll text him a quick line, and that's it. Once every few weeks or something. But he's not a regular. He doesn't go on social media. He has it. And he'll ask if he can go on to do something, and he'll say yes or no, whatever. So they're pretty monitoring it. And Molly, who is 9, just got an email site. But that's really just real narrow something or other. I'm not even. I'm not even sure about that. Well, believe me, Sarah and Dan. Dan's a lawyer, and Sarah's a child helper of school systems and stuff of troubled kids. So, I mean, they're pretty, they monitor very, very good. Well, these are the people who make sure they have enough peanut butter and protein and stuff, and they're very woke. And I mean, they're the ones with the sign on the front door that says, you can come in, anybody you want, come on in, take what you want.
Sanctuary.
We got a car with some keys in it. If you need to drive somewhere, just tell us where you left it later. Love is here. We love everybody. Take, sleep here, any room you want. Just help yourself. Love the Sarah and Dan. It's unbelievable. It's 4:45 already.
Where do they
live? Everybody wants their address. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 4:45. Holy smokes. Hey, it's the Kimmer. Look out. The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6, just like the Kimmer.
How could anyone who has run a state into the ground as he has even have, I mean, he has absolutely no morals or scruples or anything saying, I should be president. I've done such a great job.
It's an open state. We just did the other day, they showed 20,000 Chinamen have come in into California in 1 month. 1 month. It's an open state. I hope they run him. I hope to God they run him.
Well, you know what the motto of the LAPD is?
Well, what's that?
We treat you like a king.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
If it's time to buy a new car, what are you looking for? Price? Sure, that's easy. Anyone can offer you a good price, but not everyone cares about your community as much as we do. At Subaru of Gwinnett, there's a lot to love. You'll love our staff, our service department, the entire experience. Because at Subaru of Gwinnett, it's about way more than buying a car. It's investing in your community and loving the people you do it with. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, come in for a test drive and find great offers on the 2024 Subaru Outback or the model that best fits your lifestyle. And yes, we check a lot of boxes: safety, value, and of course, loving what you drive. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and find the ride that best suits you. Learn about our incredible staff and find out how your next purchase will benefit your community. We promise you'll love it, because love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, and online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
It's easy to see. We're being conned by the institutions we used to trust. The mainstream media is distracting us with meaningless headlines instead of focusing on the harsh realities facing American families. We all know something big is coming, and that's why so many folks are preparing. They're becoming more self-reliant by investing in emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, and they make it easy for you to prepare. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure some emergency food kits. There's a dozen to choose from that contain tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one food kit for each family member. My Patriot Supply also sells large solar generators, gravity-powered water filtration systems, heirloom seeds for your garden, and survival gear. Order by 3 p.m. and your items will ship that same day. Time is short. Prepare today. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
Introducing Sonder Health Plans, your trusted local partner for Medicare Advantage in Georgia. Only in Georgia. With Sonder, you'll get comprehensive coverage that's tailored to your needs. They offer $0 primary care visits, $0 premiums, and access to a wide network of Georgia healthcare providers. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com now to learn more about their valued-based care that won't break the bank. Or call 888-428-4440. Sonder Health Plans, your doctors, your neighbors, your friends.
Thriller, baby. 450, 10 before 5. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Michael Jackson. Number 1, Thriller, U.S. album chart 1983 on this day. Broke racial barriers in pop music. That's what it says here. Oh, here we go. Let's play it, Michael. Guy could act, guy could sing, guy could entertain. His appearance on MTV and meeting with President Reagan at the White House for pop music broke a few barriers, they say. His album was one of the first to use music videos as successful promotional tools, and the videos for the song Thriller, Billie Jean, and Beat It all received regular rotation on MTV. Thriller became the most successful album of all time. Sales more than 65 million copies. Is that still true, or is it with the Eagles overtake them?
I don't know.
I think it's still true. I'll be damned. Michael Jackson with the Thriller with the thing there. And on this day, in 1869, the 15th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was sent out to the states for ratification. It was formally ratified 342 days later in 1870, effectively guaranteeing African Americans the right to vote. Now, wait a minute. That was the 15th Amendment.
They do know they can vote for either party, right?
No, they can only vote for Democrats because that keeps them out of the the slavery plantation area. Because if you don't have to do it, if you just take, if you say, please, well, hey, by the way, this is Black Lives Matter Day, so we're just kind of keeping it crunk, what it is, Holmes. Kiss my ass, Black Lives Matter, go to hell. Everybody freaking burn in hell, every single one of you leaders responsible for what you did to this country. Black Lives Matter, my ass. You don't give a crap about black lives? Give me a freaking break. We'll talk about that more in a minute. What a joke. I'll get the figures again about the companies and how much money they gave Black Lives Matter. But first, an update from Washington, D.C. The White House on Monday shared a statement regarding the murder of Augusta University student Laken Riley on the University of Georgia campus. Quote, "We would like to extend our deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of Laken Hope Riley," a White House spokesman said. "People should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law if they are found to be guilty. Given this is an active case, we would have to refer you to state law enforcement and ICE." That was it? That's it? That's your statement?
Took a long time to get one out.
Well, golly. And, of course, President Turdface is still saying, well, it's we need the policies to fix the border. That's up to Republicans. My Republican friends on the Hill, they're doing nothing. Doing nothing is not an option. Compromise is part of the process, says President Screamlying Stupid Face. You can kiss my ass, too. Then what just white trash. That was the statement. We offer our condolences, and the rest of it's up to what happens in the states, so we can't talk about it? Are you kidding me? He should have had a statement saying these illegal alien murdering people have got to stop. We need to stop these people. Oh, that's right. You're responsible for it, you freaking scumbag.
Blood on his hands.
He's a freaking murderer. The President of the United States is a murderer.
Put out 20 statements on text about George Floyd.
Yeah, George Floyd and whatever the guy was down with the other. I got the name here somewhere.
Trayvon.
Trayvon Martin. Every time that happened, God, and then he sent federal authorities, for God's sakes, and the scumbag Brown case in Ferguson, Missouri. When the cops were found not guilty of anything, they didn't do anything wrong. There just weren't enough black ones on the force. That was all. But they weren't racist, doing anything bad. And the guy got Michael Brown got exactly what he deserved. Yep. And Puttitat didn't like it. And so he sent the freaking federal authorities down there to investigate on a federal charge. And they were cleared of that, too. But he sure tried to nail him on racism. That's what your Democrats do. And they're doing it again. How could this president not say anything about an open border responsible for the innocent girl being murdered in broad daylight on a college campus and a trail that everybody uses and is familiar with and feels safe walking and jogging and just having a beautiful, glorious afternoon on a college campus?
Yeah.
You dirty, rotten, filthy scumbag. You ought to be in freaking prison. Freaking President Turd Face. Honest to God, I've never been more appalled at the behavior of these people than anybody. Just white trash. That was your statement? Our condolences, and it's up to the state to follow the thing with the FRF.
Okay, let the state do. Okay, if it's up for the state, then we can do whatever we want with it.
Right, okay. We'll do it. We'll do it.
And keep out of it, feds.
Yeah, we'll do it. Give me a break. God, oh, good. We can loosen it up a little.
Yeah, what a nice transition.
A little Flounder's funny. Good, thank God. What do you got there, Flounder?
I'm not a political guy. I can't get in. It's just exhausting to me. It seems like just, ugh. But I have picked up on this, living in California. If you're a Republican in California, you better keep that to yourself. They hate Republicans. They don't hate anything more than Republicans in California. Republicans, they're not even real people. They're like these mythical creatures that hide in the bushes. They'll snatch up your kids and force them to get a job. There's an app in California that tells you if Republicans live in your neighborhood. I've seen it. There's little elephant heads on the houses. I feel sorry for Republicans. It's rough for them out there. They can't slip up. They got to hide all the time. They can't say what they mean. They can't one day be with their California friends and be like, you know what? I think life begins at conception. I'm like, what? What'd you just say? I said, I love paying for other people's contraceptives.
That's exactly the point. Well done. Who is that?
That is Brandon Vestall.
Excuse me. Boy, something's going on. I'm doing this throat thing all day and all night.
Excuse me?
That's what she said.
Did you get that?
456.
I just have to clear my throat. I have this allergy or something going on.
You got to clear your throat, huh? I say that for the end of the show.
I mean, I don't know. It's just annoying. I'm sorry. I have to apologize. 457 with Kimmer, Peter, and Flounder.
Who?
Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
Thank you.
Donald Trump has appealed his massive New York civil fraud case judgment of over $350 million. By the way, he's currently on the hook for $354 million. The post-judgment interest accrues at more than $100,000 a day. A day.
Uh-huh.
By the way, there's another list coming out. People are talking about Kristi Noem as his vice presidential pick, maybe moving near the top or not. I just saw her. Have you seen her latest commercial? She's now a state trooper. I swear to God, she pulls over one of her own state representatives that she doesn't recognize, and she comes up in a state trooper squad car and goes up to the window and stuff, and frankly, it's not particularly a funny skit. The guy says, "Kristi, don't you remember me? Don't you recognize me? I'm one of your guys." She says, "Oh yeah," and it's a whole thing about freedom in South Dakota.
How does she look? That's all that matters.
Too much makeup. She's beautiful, but there's too much makeup. Yeah. She wears way too much makeup. I mean, seriously, it's not a good look. I truly think less of her as a female, powerful leader with all that makeup on than I would if she just showed up plain and regular.
Who else used to do that? Sarah Palin.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. If you're we want you to be girly. We want you to be a woman. We want you to have feelings about men and stuff like that. But you can't be looking like a freaking pancake French hooker. I mean, she's got too much. I mean, my God, it's like caked eye. The eyelash look like spiders. And my God. I mean, sure, who wouldn't want to, kiss her on the mouth? But I'm just saying, way too much makeup. It's annoying. I mean, it's distracting. That's what got me. She looks like she's wearing too much makeup. And you don't think, I can't remember what she said. I cannot remember her dialogue. Because I was thinking about how beautiful she is, but she wears too much makeup.
Her baby. Guess they just did a poll, and I'm going to give it to you during the break here.
Yeah.
Guess who Democrats decide they would like if it's not Biden?
You're going to give him the poll?
Oh, hey. Biblically.
He's the one with the throat thing going.
You got to bring that back again, don't you? But you make one mistake about your oral gifts.
That's what she said. You're not going to believe. Well, you will believe. Guess who they've decided who they want.
I'll bet you they want Newsom.
No. What have I been saying for 2 years?
Oh, not Big Mike. Oh, Jesus. Well, if she runs, she'll win. Every 18-year-old girl in America will vote for her. Oh, God, no. Please, God. Before it's almost 5 o'clock. No, God, please. I'll go to church every Sunday. I'll never say another bad word. I'll make sure every girl's going to get every penny I have. I will pray every day, all night.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
The clock's ticking again on Capitol Hill. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden meets tomorrow with the top 4 congressional leaders ahead of a possible government shutdown beginning Friday.
There is an absolute avalanche of business facing Congress this week. The potential start of an impeachment trial for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Testimony from Hunter Biden, that's Wednesday. But a partial government shutdown looms this weekend. There was a plan for a possible spending package over the weekend. However, it never materialized. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer blamed arch conservatives for having more interest in, quote, chaos than solving problems.
Fox's chat program at the Capitol, where Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell is offering reassurance there won't be a shutdown. Meantime, the president is still urging final passage of a foreign aid bill passed in the Senate, while House Republicans want tougher border security provisions than the bipartisan deal that was removed from that package. The death of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley fueling more debate about border security.
The suspected killer, Jose Antonio Ibarra, is in jail without bond and is facing a long list of charges like felony murder, kidnapping, and hindering a 911 call. ICE confirms the accused killer entered the U.S. illegally through El Paso in 2022. They say New York law enforcement arrested him just 5 months ago for acting in a manner to injure a child. ICE says NYPD released him before they could issue a detainer on Ibarra.
Fox's Madison Scarpino at the University of Georgia, where Riley's body was found. The county coroner confirming today she died of blunt force trauma to the head. JetBlue and Spirit Airlines urging a federal appeals court to overturn a ruling that blocks their merger. The companies argue it would improve competition and reduce prices. This as another big merger is challenged in court. The Federal Trade Commission suing to block grocery chains Kroger and Albertsons from combining. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now, and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
A toast to our new college grad who fills us with so much joy, almost as much as when we're in our RV. Oh, the world is your oyster, kiddo, and ours too. Now that we're covered with Progressive, Dad and I can hop in our RV anytime we want. Might even splurge on a retractable awning. Ooh, look out. Sorry, what was I talking about?
Protect your loved one with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right a plank. Ready on your dog, target. Front guards out. It's only me. It's only the giver. How's it going? 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls on 106.3. It's freaking Monday, and my head's exploding. I'll bet yours is too about this business of what happened at the University of Georgia campus and the reaction to it, and it's unfreaking believable. Absolutely unfreaking believable. That poor young girl just attacked in broad daylight. And the story is getting worse and worse as we talk about it. But first, let's, in case you just joined us, the White House has now made it all better. Yes, here's what they've said about the incredible murder case of Laken Riley on the UGA campus. The White House would like to extend our deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of Laken Hope Riley. People should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law if they are found to be guilty. Given this is an active case, we would like to have to refer you to state law enforcement and ICE. And that was it. And not, it's about time that we got the border closed, and I realized that the president dog turd of the United States is responsible for every freaking murder. I mean, seriously, let's think about it. If the border under Donald Trump had continued as it was under this guy, how many crimes do you suppose would not have been committed? How many drug pills and overdoses would have been prevented if the border had stayed, at least with the wall being built and the remain in Mexico? I mean, all those things were gone the first day. How many lives would be changed and still living on walking the earth if it hadn't been for this scumbag president? And I'll tell you what, if this isn't the overwhelming issue, it's almost too bad that it's only February. It's too bad it isn't like, August, where you're right closer to the election to say, my God, you want to do another 4 years of this? And by the way, in fact, I'm going to read this letter again. Can I do that? The one, Pete and I think Flounder also got this letter from a UGA mom with kids over there. And we got a lot to talk about this thing here, too. It says, I wanted to make sure that you guys knew some of the details of the horrific murder on the UGA campus, Laken Riley, this week. She was from Woodstock, attended UGA 2020 to 2023, entered the UGA's partner nursing program with Augusta Medical in Athens, living at the UGA sorority, very active on campus. She writes, I live in Athens. I have 2 kids who are UGA students, so this is especially close to my heart. The murderer was previously arrested at least twice in Athens and released instead of being deported. Our useless again, I don't know the facts of this, but this woman lives there, and I've heard other people saying that he's been arrested there. It must have been probably some kind of minor crime, but still, again, I'm interjecting here for a second. If you're an illegal invader and you get caught committing any crime, you go to jail to serve your time for the crime. If it's a traffic violation, you go for an overnight or whatever it is, or 30 days if you got in an accident with no license or whatever, and then you get deported. You get, period. You don't get released and come back later. My God. Anyway, she says this scumbag was arrested at least twice in Athens. Our useless DA, Deborah Gonzalez, is well known throughout the state for releasing violent criminals. She is absolutely the enemy of our citizens. She has a very difficult time keeping employees because of the horrible situation she has created. Some guy sent me a message that apparently like 40 or 50% of her staff members are quitting. They've quit over the years because she won't enforce the law. She lets them all go. And then nobody's willing to work for her. Let's see, difficult time, horrible situation she's created. I've seen Twitter reports that the murderer is also a suspect in the murder of a jogger in Maryland, but I can't verify that. He was arrested in Queens, New York 5 months ago for injury to a child. How could an illegal alien sneak-in invader who hurt a child be immediately given his walking papers, just say, come back when we're going to have a case later? How is that possible? How could you be a freaking magistrate or a DA or a bail clerk I don't know how far it goes, civil clerk, judge, wherever it freaking goes, to say, okay, boy, that's too bad you hurt that baby, but just come back later and don't do that again, okay?
Ira Howard's no longer the sheriff of Athens Clarke County. It's Sheriff John Q. Williams. I don't know what his stance is on this.
Okay. Because the earlier sheriff was one who said now again, Georgia law, if I'm not, correct me, Pete and Fowler, if I'm wrong, but if I understand it correctly, Georgia law says that there cannot be any sanctuary cities.
Right.
Is that my understanding? If it's not a law, it's an executive action. There's some rule that Georgia cities cannot be sanctuary cities. But, so know what they do? They say, well, we're a sanctuary community. So Athens, Clark County, is a sanctuary community. So they can have murderers roam free. Yeah. Oh, so they can have murderers. So all you murderers, President Ali in free. It's just freaking disgusting. Let me finish out this thing. But he was released and murdered his brilliant, beautiful nursing student who had a 4.0 GPA. His brother, also illegal, lives in Athens, had prior arrest, and here was released. He has everything to do with the situation. This is not supposed to be here. If he were not here, Laken Riley would be alive. I mean, this is unbelievable. And how come President Stupidface isn't calling for justice? Well, he can't because it's his fault. And he released, a spokesman releases this ridiculous statement. We offer our condolences, but we can't say anymore because it's a state issue. God, have you heard of any more heartless, cold-hearted, just brutal? After, my God, you couldn't get away from this news over the weekend everywhere. This is a major story. The reaction to it, my God, the facts of the case of what happened here, and that's the statement they release. Well, it's a real shame. We offer our condolences to the people who loved her, but we really can't say any more. That's it.
Antiseptic.
The hell is the matter with these people?
He can't say anymore because it'll anger his constituents, people who vote for him.
Freaking coward, gutless, dickless cowards. I mean, it's no balls. God, I hate him. I just hate everything he stands for. And we're going to play that thing with him and trying to quote Abe Lincoln again later on too, just for fun. God Almighty. Anyway, I mean, that's just freaking appalling. Now, Pete mentioned Michelle Obama. Here we go. Well, according to a new survey, and this is a poll of Democrats. I'm trying to see who actually did the survey. I don't think it says. Anyway, Michelle Obama tops Gavin Newsom, Carmela side piece, shiftless and lazy vice president, and Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage in a poll of who Democrats believe could replace Joe Turdbrain on the ticket if he drops out. The 60-year-old has said multiple times she is not interested in running for office, admitted that she's probably a man more than people would believe. Oh, no, that's not what she admitted. That she is terrified of the outcome of the election. It's a Rasmussen report. 47% of likely U.S. voters believe it's likely Democrats will replace Biden. I believe they'll replace him, too. Despite nearly all Democratic Party leaders backing him for a second term. Then, of course, her report came out. 20% of Democrats in a survey named Michelle Obama as the favorite. 15% favored Carmela. Former California governor, preferred California Newsom for 9%. Well, that's nothing. So they prefer her by 20% of Democrats prefer her if he isn't running. I mean, they don't know what to do. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, they're screwed. What are they going to do? Gavin Newsom's the worst governor of the worst state. I mean, oh my God, I can't even believe it. And he keeps saying, I'm not running. He's adamantly determined. And I don't blame him. I don't think he should run. I think he should wait 4 years, see what happens. Because he's got to pull out his state. I mean, he's got the worst state in the country. I mean, it's a joke. Oh God!
They don't care. It's all about image with Democrats, though. They don't care what the content is.
Did you hear Bob Costas, the sports guy, on the big weekend show over the weekend on CNN? And he says, Donald Trump is the most disgraceful figure in modern presidential history. He's a bubbling cauldron of loathsome traits. You have to be in the throes of some sort of toxic delusion and in a toxic cult to believe that Donald Trump has ever been in any sense emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, or ethically fit to be president of the United States. But his supporters are locked in on that.
Yeah, 90 million people in a toxic cult. Yeah, right, Bobby.
Bob Costas.
Go back to your Upper West Side, the martini party.
He's got short man's disease, ever since he's got short. He's a big, freaking star, and I'll guarantee at the bottom of his internal psychosis is he's got short man's disease. And some 6-foot chick with great legs made fun of him when he was 15, and he never got over it.
He said the same thing about 3 weeks ago on Bill Maher, and nobody paid any attention.
I wonder why. I wonder what he's doing. I mean, they keep asking him
because he wants to hang out at the right parties with the right people in the Hamptons.
He feels lost. He's not the guy anymore, I guess. Anyway, 5:13. We got sports. Thank God we have sports. And we'll talk Baseball and fun stuff. And I don't know if I have any sports history today, Pete. I'm feeling kind of bad. Oh, my God. I got to find something. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 5:13. 404-741-1230 on 106.3. Look out.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra.
I'm just looking forward to my first 0 FG of the day.
That's right.
I say we just start hitting them now and just see if we can do one every break. All high on energy.
High on energy.
You'd be like, this is the greatest show I've listened to. Like, these guys are on it.
Man, they talking like, what does it know when you listen to a podcast and you can put it on like 1.5 times?
2 times. Let me tell you why Nikki Haley should drop out of this race right now, because I'm going to tell you right now that she's never going to win this race. It's going to be too much. Just keep going.
Right. It's just like that.
I felt bad for Kimmer the other day because he was doing one of his very weird stories. Well, he was pondering it. One more energy drink? You never know.
It pushes you right over the edge.
Oh, man, that's sad.
Moment of silence.
All right, pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I feel good about that.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. every weekday morning on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Is this the year you want to grow your business? Do you want to expand your team? Build a new office? Hey, it's Tug, and I want to tell you about First Liberty Building and Loan. Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you're dealing with a new person? You won't have to with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they can help you too. They know the patterns, they know the ebbs and flows, and they know business. Now the Frost family wants to know you. FirstLibertyGA.com. Buying a building, building a building, buying a franchise, or expanding. Reach out and spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. FirstLibertyGA.com. By the way, if you're a young banker and you want to work with a team that's faith-friendly with a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to First Liberty Building and Loan at FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
If it's time to buy a new car, what are you looking for? Price? Sure, that's easy. Anyone can offer you a good price, but not everyone cares about your community as much as we do. At Subaru of Gwinnett, there's a lot to love. You'll love our staff, our service department, the entire experience. Because at Subaru of Gwinnett, it's about way more than buying a car. It's investing in your community and loving the people you do it with. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, come in for a test drive and find great offers on the 2024 Subaru Outback or the model that best fits your lifestyle. And yes, we check a lot of boxes: safety, value, and of course, loving what you drive. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and find the ride that best suits you. Learn about our incredible staff and find out how your next purchase will benefit your community. We promise you'll love it, because love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, and online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show, right here on Extra 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
Look out. Well, I came up with some sports history page. That's the thing. We're just looking at Gavin Newsom says Joe Biden's presidency is a master class. Yeah, in treason. Dear Lord. All right, 5 seconds. Holy crap at sports with Pete Davis.
Braves open spring training games this weekend. They beat Tampa Bay on Saturday. They lost to the Red Sox yesterday after spotting them a 4-0 lead. Came storming back and tied the game, but then the Red Sox won it in the top of the ninth. Well, today they fell to the Orioles 2-1. Max Fried, he did well. 2 innings pitched, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. A.J. Minter and Tyler Matzik scoreless innings. Forrest Wall hit a home run. That was the only run the Braves had today. So they're 1-2 so far in spring training. Former right-handed pitcher Jose De Leon has has passed away after a battle with cancer. He was 63. De Leon made the big leagues back in 83 with the Pirates, pitched for several teams, once leading the National League in strikeouts, and finished his career with a record of 86 wins, 119 losses, a respectable 3.76 ERA. The Cubs and free agent outfitter Cody Bellinger have agreed to a 3-year, $80 million contract. And NBA news, the Hawks have lost all-star point guard Trae Young for at least a month.
Oh, boy.
Torn ligament in his left pinky finger. He got it hurt during Friday night's loss to Toronto. He's going to have surgery Tuesday, which is tomorrow, at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York City.
Wow.
Young will be evaluated in 4 weeks. They're fighting for a final play-in spot in the East, but they beat up on the Magic yesterday, 109-92. Trae leading the Hawks with 26 points and almost 11 assists per game this season. Former Georgia Tech football coach Paul Johnson is obviously a man who believes revenge is a dish best served cold, like several years old. Johnson was a guest on the Bill Shank Show and gave his opinion on his successor at Tech, Jeff Collins.
You know, he just distorted everything when he got there. I mean, I'll just call a spade a spade. I don't care. I got no respect for the guy, so I can say what I want. He went in and distorted everything that was there and acted like we'd never won a game, and lied about who he inherited, lied about the offensive line, lied about, you know, us not going to the high schools in Georgia. He just told a bunch of whoppers, and it came back to get him. Because there wasn't much substance there.
And Johnson wasn't through there. He wiped the blood off his dagger, then stuck it in again.
You know, the opposing coaches in the league would call me, and they were laughing. And I had one particular coach who called me after they had really pounded him at home. He told me, he said, "Paul, it's a circus." And I had another coach who called me late on a Saturday night after they had beaten him, and he was laughing. He said, "I even lined up your formation at the end just to stick it in."
Oh my God.
I love it.
And who is he talking about? What coach is he talking
Jeff
about?
Collins.
Oh, my.
Yeah, okay. Paul Johnson led Tech to 9 bowl games, 3 ACC championships, won 83 games in 11 years, named him Coach of the Year in the ACC in 2008, 9 and 14. Jeff Collins went 10 and 28, did not record a winning season, lost to Georgia by a combined score, 97-7.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I remember.
Former Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Cam Newton got into a scuffle over the weekend at a youth football tournament. Of course, it was here in Atlanta. Several men from a rival group attacked Newton, who not only held his own, looking like Hercules beating off a pack of wolves, he managed to keep his feathered hat on his head the entire time.
Yeah, pretty cool.
You really stand out in the crowd when you're 6'5" and you look like Witchy Poo from HR Puff and stuff. Hate to say it, but it's time to stop rushing the court after a big basketball win.
Boy, yeah.
People are just too violent and stupid to do it right anymore. Case in point, what happened at Wake Forest Saturday when they upset Duke. Fans rushed the floor and Dookie star Kyle Filipowski hurt his knee. Turns out a camera shot from above showed that Kyle intentionally stuck his foot out to trip a student, so it's his own damn fault.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw that video, and I didn't match with what the story was.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was, it's kind of like when Hank Aaron was around in third base, and those kids were trying to congratulate him for the home run that he said, and he was kind of brush him off and say, they want to get to their thing, and he wanted to get rid of him. And who was it? Who was it who was famous for? It was the famous home run in Boston where he goes like this. He says, stay fair, like that. Carlton Fisk. And the thing, when he rounded third and those kids came on, he hit them. He nailed those guys trying to get on the field to salute him when he came around the thing. And that's what this guy was doing at Duke and hurt himself. He could have been just stood there. But still, it's wrong. You're right. It's absolutely wrong. I mean, they swarmed like crazy.
Only you could have connected dots from Kyle Filipowski to Carlton Fisk in the 75 World Series.
You mentioned the Boston Red Sox, mister, and I've got a mention. Yes, you did. Braves game.
Oh, yeah, over the weekend.
And I linked that in together, and I have a Boston Red Sox tie-in at the end of your sportscast.
We'll see. Let's see if I can draw this out so we don't get to that.
Anyway, we're sorry, we're out of time.
Let's see what else we got. It was the closest finish.
Well, now you're just trying to find something.
It was the closest finish ever at Atlanta Motor Speedway yesterday, as you heard right here on Extra 106.3. We're your home for NASCAR races.
Actual home.
So close they had to go to a photo evidence there. Daniel Suarez edged Ryan Blaney and Cal Busch and a 3-wide blur at the line to win by, get this, 0.003 seconds.
Yeah.
The third closest, that's the third closest cup finish since the electronic scoring established back in 93 at the Invader Health 400. How could that be the third when it's 0.003?
Less than one. I mean, it's one 1,000th.
And that's amazing there. There was an Atlanta record 48 lead changes, so it's quite a race down there. The coach of a Vermont basketball team that forfeited a game against a tranny player broke his silence after the state banned his team from competing in any future tournaments. Chris Goodwin coaches Mid-Vermont Christian School, said the team was notified of the transgender player on the other team, and they said, well, no, we're going to forfeit. We're not going to play. We're not going to hurt my players. They took legal action because of the danger of a biological male playing against high school girls. Said, I got 4 daughters. I've coached them at one point in my careers playing high school basketball. I've also filled in as the boys coach when he can't make a practice, and I run those practices, and boys just play at a different speed, a different force than the girls play. That's what Goodwin says.
Absolutely. Everybody
Common
knows
sense.
that. Everybody knows that. There's not a person in America, if you give them truth serum, who wouldn't admit boys and girls are different athletically on the field, especially as teenagers.
And you mentioned him earlier. Bob Costas even came out, as liberal as he is, came out and said, look, it is not a transphobia to be for common sense.
Right.
Boys and girls are different.
Yeah, have a tranny meet if you want. Have a tranny category. Fine.
I have no problem with it.
In fact, no, I guarantee you, nobody would care. They'd say, oh, in fact, I'd wonder what if the guys had to wear dresses, or I mean, we'd probably make fun, but fine by me. Have a tranny meet. Have a tranny category. Absolutely.
Tranny Olympics.
That's right. I like it.
Headline of the day from the Daily Mail. Wimbledon finalist splits with sex addict partner who skips foreplay and romps 10 times a week.
Oh, boy.
Mario Berrettini called it a year-long intense relationship.
So if she demands sex a lot,
10 times a
at
week.
least twice a day? Kind of, well, not a week,
Maybe
not
not.
14, but yes, but a lot. Well, doesn't seem like that much. But obviously she's
says Mr.
Well, okay,
10 times a decade.
The memory back, I wasn't always this old. Sorry.
On this day, February 26th of 1909, Israel Durham purchased the Phillies.
All right.
He takes over as team president, but he dies on June 28th, saying he'd rather be dead than be any longer associated with the Phils. No, I made that up. He just died.
True.
1935, the Yankees release Babe Ruth back into the wild. He will soon sign a $20,000 contract with
the Boston Braves.
And
now you just took one of my sports headlines that I looked up during the break so I could have a sports headline to talk about a history thing after you get done with your sportscast.
And I'm done early today, so what you got?
Well, I got another one. How about this? 1985. Julius Erving, Dr. J, 76ers, became the third on the NBA all-time scoring list. And that was 85.
Should have been a Hawk.
Oh, really?
So they had the rights to him and had to go to court with the ABA, and Virginia Squires, the judge, ruled for them instead of the Hawk. He should have been a Hawk.
Oh, no kidding. I'll be damned. 1989, the New York Yankees announced that Tom Seaver would be their new TV sportscaster.
Or maybe it was the Nets. Squires or Nets.
Either way.
Doesn't matter.
All right, sir. That sounds good. I got a message from somebody that says you cannot open carry on a college campus. We were mentioned that earlier today. How about this? Hold on. I got my story here. I got to find it right here. Oh, here we go. Kamala Grabaska, 36 years old, is a woman who sued after a car crashed into her from behind and caused her debilitating neck and back pain, preventing her from holding down a job for 5 different years. She's an Irish woman, lives in County Clare. The car accident was someone hitting her from behind, left her unable to carry her young kids or complete household chores. She quit her job, received disability payments, and argued that her previous and future lost income totaled more than $500,000. And she pretty much got it. And then, in fact, she got about $800,000 in her lawsuit. And then all of a sudden, she had to go to court because there was video of this same woman who couldn't pick up her kids and had all these back and neck problems. A video of her competing in the famous Christmas tree throwing event. A year after the accident left her with disabling pain. They took a look at her launching a tree, which a judge said, man, that's pretty freaking graphic. And she won the event, ladies and gentlemen. You basically take a 5-foot spruce tree and throw it as far as you can, and she won. They also had video of her playing in a park with a dog and running around and having a good time. And it's a very large natural Christmas tree and being thrown by her in a very agile movement. I'm afraid I can't conclude her aims were not exaggerated. I say, oh, my God. Anyway, can you imagine she wins the tree throwing contest?
All for eight, and she gives up $800,000 to do that stupid contest.
Unbelievable. Oh, mercy. Anyway, that was what she won in her lawsuit, and now it's gone. $800,000.
It'd be hard to live with yourself after that.
Oh, my God. What a freaking goof. And Jordan's Vandersloot. Have you heard about this guy? The guy who killed Natalie Holloway? He's 36 years old. He's still in prison for murdering somebody else in Peru. He's basically got a life sentence. And because he's in Peru where they have the basic conjugal visits, the spokesman for their national penitentiary says, well, he has the same rights as anybody else. So Jordan Vandersloot, who murdered Natalie Holloway and on their girlfriend later in Peru, now has 3 women on his list of visitors that he has sex with in prison. So he has 3 girls who give him sex anytime he wants. They show up and have sex with him. And by the way, his second murder of a second girlfriend was 5 years to the day that he murdered Natalie Holloway in Aruba. 3 different women have sex with him. Hell, he got married. One of them got knocked up and gave her a kid. And one girl tried to sneak drugs into him, and she should have gotten 18 years in prison for sneaking in grams of cocaine and marijuana, and instead they didn't arrest her. They gave Vandersloot an extra 18 years in prison. But still, if he's got, say, he has sex with 3 hotties, he even got married. My God, man.
I wonder if these conjugal visits cut down on the men-on-men rape in prisons.
I would imagine. Huh. I would hope. Again, they say surprise sex is wonderful unless you're in prison. If you're surprise sex in prison, it's not.
Just try the tip.
Yeah, just well, you eat 1 foot. 5:30. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We got more. We got Flounder's Funnies coming up here too. We got a whole bunch of. We're gonna 9 of them right in a row. So there.
The legend Neil Bort sees only on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Donald Trump. What do you think world leaders think about this guy with his gold sneakers? This hyper-narcissistic loose cannon who invites Russia to attack our NATO allies.
Atlanta Talk radio legends are only on Extra 106.3.
The Atlanta Braves have launched Braves Country Baseball and Softball, a youth organization for kids 5 through 12 years old, and are looking for local rec leagues across the Southeast to join. Braves Country Baseball and Softball will consist of spring season league play and the chance for kids to represent their local communities in district, regional, and state tournaments, with all roads leading to Atlanta for the championships. Visit Braves.com/BCBS before the March 1st deadline to join the 50 leagues that have already committed. Stop dreaming. Start driving. Get the gift that keeps on giving with the RBM of Atlanta's Certified Pre-Owned Sales Event. Each of our certified pre-owned vehicles undergoes an exhaustive process of analysis, inspection, and reconditioning until it meets the uncompromising standards of RBM of Atlanta and Mercedes-Benz. For a limited time, get special financing from as low as 2.99% APR. In addition, you'll receive unlimited confidence with Mercedes-Benz's unlimited mileage warranty, delivering continued assurance for up to 7 years. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details and see how to qualify. We'd love to welcome you to the RBM of Atlanta family. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Not all offers apply to all vehicles, and special financing available to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Services through February 29th, 2024. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call 770-390-0700 for details.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
It's a mad world out there, but one thing is certain, everyone is trying to market something. So tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to the Marketing Madmen, who, along with a variety of industry expert guests, can help you make sense of it all. Whether you own a business and want tips to scale, or are a fan of the finer things in life and want to know how restaurants, golf courses, and wine companies try to sell you stuff, the Marketing Madmen is your ultimate destination for all things marketing. Tune in right here on Extra 106.3 every Saturday at 3 p.m. or search online for more content. Join the madness with the Marketing Madmen.
What's your retirement plan? Master Plan Retirement Consultants specialize in constructing plans designed to meet the challenges you could face over the course of a retirement. As holistic retirement planners, we cover tax, income, Social Security, legacy, healthcare, and long-term care planning. Our strategies are designed to maximize your retirement savings and income while minimizing taxes and protecting your assets from forces that could disrupt your retirement, providing peace of mind. A fiduciary advisory firm, Master Plan Retirement, works with you to create the potential for a sustainable retirement and a legacy to be remembered. Join us on our weekly radio show, Retirement Roadmap, every Saturday at 12 p.m. on Extra 106.3 as we discuss retirement topics for today's financial environment. Episodes can also be found on YouTube and on your podcast platform. Find us at masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Well, we were talking about the Eagles earlier with Don Henley on trial and testifying about the case of who has the rights to handwritten show song notes and able to sell them. And he's in trial in New York. And here's a big hit right here. 1977 went to number one with A New Kid in Town. Their third number one was only number 20 hit in Britain. The single written by Don Henley, Glenn Frey, and J.D. Souther, released as the first single from their fifth album, Hotel California. The Eagles, man, what a group for years and years. They're not still doing anything, right? Are they? Or are they?
Yeah, they're still around doing stuff.
Are they really silly? I'll be damned. And on this day in history, this is really, I want you to kind of settle back and relax because you're going to hear some poetry just for a minute, just for a few seconds, that is award-winning. 27 years ago, 1997, I remember this. First Lady Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage won a Grammy for Best Spoken Word or Non-Musical Album for It Takes a Village. Flounder, if you will. My God.
So close we came.
Remember, like 2 days before the election, she had a 93% chance of winning.
New York Times.
Yeah,
90%.
New York Times, yeah.
You can't believe any. It's pure propaganda. All of it. It's pure lies and has been for 20 years.
They knew they were going to affect they wanted to affect the outcome of the election. People say, "Oh God, well, I'm voting for Hillary too. She's going to be the winner. I'm on that. But I'm with her, man."
And well, you know what they probably did? The opposite. People said, "Well, I don't need to vote."
Like, should I? Yeah. Well, the turnout. I don't remember whether the turnout was unusually light. But again, it's all just And now, God, with AI, I don't know what's going to happen by this fall.
You can't believe anything you see anymore.
Honestly, no. I mean, even video, even TV commercials. How are they? And by the way, how's a TV station supposed to figure out whether the ad they're getting is legit or not?
Or the video they're getting from somebody, or
in fact, I'm sorry.
In court, how can you use video in court anymore?
Before I forget, as the constitutional law student who was so good at it that I didn't have to take my
enthusiast.
As I recall, if you are given a commercial, a political commercial, you are not allowed to change it.
Right.
You can't edit it. So if you don't like it, don't run it. But if you take it, you have to play it as is. I think that's still a rule for anybody under the FCC. Now that doesn't include Fox News or cable stations, but your basic media people. Anyway, a couple of updates. 5:38. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We got Flounder's Funnies coming up, and we got a little Pete's tweets, and we've got some fun stuff.
Sure.
Telling a news story about what's happening now and where and what's going on with these Jew haters.
Well, it's interesting. Daily Mail headline: pro-Palestinian protesters storm into 30 Rock there in New York City.
That's NBC's headquarters.
Yep, as Biden films interview with talk show host Seth Meyers. Demonstrators say they will not vote for Joe until there's a ceasefire in Gaza and call for an end to the genocide. At least half of them, held up signs that said Jews to Biden. So they're Jewish.
So why would a Jew vote for a Democrat?
Self-loathing?
I mean, seriously, can we have any Jewish caller?
So does that help the Republican Party? Because
hopefully.
They're not going to obviously go and vote for Trump, but they're just not going to go and vote.
They're lying. It's just all crap. It's you can't tell me that they're going to really stay home if there's no ceasefire by November, whatever that. Please. I mean, it's all just crap. It's all politics and crap. And so they're protesting 30 Rock. And we're not going to vote for you until you do what we want. No. Well, that's not a protest.
I wouldn't be surprised these pro-Palestinian protests are funded by the likes of a Soros or the Chinese or something to stir up problems.
I mentioned earlier, I wish I could remember where I heard this. It was either on the Sunday night show or the Jesse show over the weekend. I think it was on the Sunday night show with the former congressman guy. And he had an expert on who was saying, or one of the investigators was saying that the Chinese Communist Party is funding all of the tranny groups and all of the hate groups, including the Black Lives Matter groups, to make sure that the division in America continues. And they're doing it on purpose, and it's coming from the communist Chinese, among other people.
I think we got something here I want to read to you.
Oh, all right, sir.
Let's see here. It's a message.
All right.
From... Well, I can't find it here. He just sent it to me.
Well, in the meantime, I will tell you this. Just in, Babylon Bee's got this new story. New York is prosecuting a couple for fraud for listing their house for $499,000 when it actually sold for $485,000.
Fraudsters.
Fraud.
Oh, okay, here we go. Safecracker. You tell it, Kimmer. I sure miss the days of you telling dingbat liberal women to go rip out their ovaries and save the planet. Now that was good radio.
No, rip out their uterus. Let's get it right. I said in fact, I used to call for a doctor who was willing to make house calls to rip out their uterus. Of the women who would try to foment this kind. The ones who are trying to murder Americans and try to be responsible for what's going on in our country. Maybe we don't want them to breed. It was all voluntary, and you got the guy, a volunteer doctor. I wasn't saying, hold him down. I was going to be a gentleman about it. Screw them. These are the same people who think it's okay to slice a baby's head off in the name of what? Allah?
Speaking of trannies,
yeah,
this just happened in Virginia. Lieutenant Governor is a black woman named Winsome Sears. She's conservative. She's a black woman. Mm-hmm. She referred to transgender state senator Danica Rome as sir.
Oh.
He then stormed out of the room, and the Senate had to go into 2 recesses. And she says, I am not here to upset anyone. I'm here to do the job that the people of Virginia have called me to do. And she's not going to bow down to this.
So it's a guy who wants to be a girl?
Yeah.
And this is, what's her title?
She's lieutenant governor.
Oh, my God.
And he shut down the government because he's upset.
Jeez, we're pretty much up to here. Okay?
Well, we've all had it.
Yeah.
Keep pushing.
Yeah, keep going. And then threaten. And then it'd be a tranny that threatens my life.
Well, they're the ones shooting us.
That's right.
We're not shooting them. They're shooting us.
Yeah, they're arming. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of the communist Chinese helping them be all upset about
and
American
going after
life
our kids.
Yeah,
like in Nashville, she went after whatever it was, went after the kids.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, this is pretty funny. Babylon Bee had a headline. It says, gender studies graduate writes, thank you in the latte for a plumber who paid for the student loans.
Yeah. You can imagine it.
Thank you in the latte that she's serving you for taking care of her student loans in feminine studies while she's serving freaking coffee. But I talk about studying feminism at the Starbucks.
You can't forgive someone else's debt if you didn't loan them the money.
Right.
When
it's not your debt.
You're taking money from other people to forgive someone else's debt. That's called theft.
Yeah, I know.
Theft.
It's just disgusting. 543. By the way, this is Black Lives Matter Day. And Black Lives Matter is a disgusting, deplorable organization. And we know what they were up to and everything about it. And by the way, for the record, all these companies that gave them money ought to be apologizing and demanded back. But here's a few of the companies and how much money, according to sources at Vox, that they've spent over the last couple of years on Black Lives Matter. Bank of America, $18 billion. BlackRock, $800 million. Adidas, $120 million for Black Lives Matter. Amazon, $169 million. American Express, $50 million. Apple, $100 million for Black Lives Matter. IBM, $252 million. Kellogg, $91 million. Microsoft, $244 million. PGA Tour, $100 million. Warner Brothers Discovery, $115 million. How about a couple of biggies? Ford Foundation, $1.7 billion in pledges to Black Lives Matter. PNC, $1 billion. Bank of America, $1 billion. PayPal, $500 million. PepsiCo, $445 million. And Wells Fargo, $400 million in pledges for Black Lives Matter on this Black Lives Matter Day. Shame on you.
It's also National Pistachio Day.
Well, I have a little container of pistachios that I frequently dip into that I got not long ago.
You ready? Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get it.
Fox News headline.
Uh-oh.
California woman steals Amazon van because, are you ready? You said you had it. Because she just needed to get back to
we're going to have...
Hold on. We got time. The ads playing.
Oh, okay. All right, well, let's start now. In a few seconds. Let's say goodbye to the boss. See you around here, Mr. There we go. He's not looking.
He's not looking. He's
he
ignoring
forgot to... Oh, he refused
it's
to look.
not a good sign.
That's a bad sign. Well, he heard...
And Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
You shouldn't need a degree in finance to choose a checking account. That's why we made Truist One Checking. No trade-offs, no compromise, no hassle. Just the stuff you want from a bank that cares. And that means no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and automatic upgrades. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Visit truist.com/one. Truist.com/ONE. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Introducing Sonder Health Plans, your trusted local partner for Medicare Advantage in Georgia. Only in Georgia. With Sonder, you'll get comprehensive coverage that's tailored to your needs. They offer $0 primary care visits, $0 premiums, and access to a wide network of Georgia healthcare providers. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com now to learn more about their valued-based care that won't break the bank. Or call 888-428-4440. Sonder Health Plans, your doctors, your neighbors, your friends.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Asante came to TurboTax after graduating from culinary school and landing a job in the hottest kitchen in town.
My hands are full all day, every day. I love it.
Asante, as your TurboTax expert, I'll make your moves count, guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and your maximum refund. Sound good?
Yes, expert.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Little Nancy Sinatra. I'm going to tell my Nancy Sinatra story.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I got something for you. Nancy Sinatra, baby. 549, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. You shouldn't have been a messenger. In 1968, Nancy Sinatra went to number one with These Boots Are Made for Walking, written by Lee Hazelwood, inspired by a line spoken by Frank Sinatra in the comedy Western film Four for Texas in 1963, where Frank Sinatra said in the movie, "They tell me them boots ain't built for walking." And so Nancy did that song there. And the Nancy Sinatra story, when for some reason I was a kid, well, just quickly, it's kind of a thing.
I heard a whole nother different version of a story that you just did. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, of this story?
That there was a songwriter came over to the house and she was looking for songs, and Frank was sitting there reading the paper and they were playing these songs for her, and he looked up in the paper and said, "Do that one. That's a good one."
I've heard that too, but I didn't know it was about that song.
Yeah.
And by the way, they got a lot of trouble when they came out with "I Love You" and what the hell's that "I Love You" song? Simply saying "I love you," simple saying "I love," whatever that song was. Father and daughter. That was a little kinky. Anyway, Nancy Sinatra and Jim Nabors and Carol Burnett came to Camp Pendleton when I was there, and I was walking by their trail. I spent the day with Jim Nabors and with all three of them, basically. And Jim Nabors couldn't have been nicer. And Carol Burnett was just sweet as she could be. Nancy Sinatra was kind of aloof. She looked, honestly, God, she looked to me like she weighed 60 pounds. Yeah, I looked like I could put my hands around her waist. I mean, she looked like a doll. And then at the end, I was leaving the trailer, and I was coming down the stairs, and a photographer for the San Diego Tribune, or one of those papers, said, it was Camp Pendleton, and said, "Miss Burnett, can we get a picture?" And she grabbed me and kissed me on the face, and the picture was all over the world.
Kimmer.
And then Nancy's, and then, this part's not about Nancy Sinatra.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't mention part of Nancy Sinatra.
Snuck in the Burnett
Give me
story.
one little thing here, bud. Talk about a bucket list. Carol Burnett kisses me on the face, and I'm in a newspaper, every newspaper in a freaking America, and my mother, I said it to my mother, why am I screaming? And my mother actually wrote Carol Burnett, said Carol Burnett, care of Hollywood.
This has nothing to
Swear
do
to God.
with Nancy Sinatra.
Oh, my God, man. Tell my story. Nancy was there. She was a witness. She saw the whole thing. I can prove it. As a Carol Burnett. So my mother said Carol Burnett, Hollywood, and she wrote her a letter saying, "Miss Burnett, I'm the mother, do you by chance have the picture?" Carol Burnett wrote my mother a handwritten letter back saying, "Gee, I wish I didn't. I remember your son." You had Okay, there you are. How many guys have Carol Burnett write their mother about the time when Carol Burnett kissed him on the face?
You can't say you're telling a Nancy Sinatra
That was
story
a Nancy
and then
Sinatra.
sneak in.
She witnessed the whole thing.
Carol Burnett story.
She was there, mister.
Which lasted longer than the Sinatra.
On this day in 1965,
Gee.
President... Yeah, how about eat me? How about that? 1965, President Lyndon Johnson approved the introduction of American ground forces into Vietnam. He disregarded the sharply worded warning of Ambassador Maxwell Taylor. Quote, white-faced soldier, armed, equipped, and trained as he is not a suitable guerrilla fighter for Asian forests and jungles. French tried and failed. I doubt that U.S. forces could do much better, unquote. And LBJ said, screw you. And that's when he sent 2 United States Marine Corps battalions deployed into Vietnam and gloated about the North Vietnamese leader a bit prematurely, as it turned out. Now I have Ho Chi Minh's pecker in my pocket. Unquote, LBJ.
Yeah. LBJ was what?
A Democrat.
That's right.
There you go. And by the way, if you're Jewish, how the hell can you vote for a Democrat? Seriously. It's wrong. It's wrong. 5:53. Holy cow. Do you have the sound? Check this. This is incredible. A little while ago, President Dogturd Face and his staff, well, he didn't have anything to do with it. Somebody released a statement. What's the matter? We okay?
Real quick, we have fish sticks on, and he wants to do a quick bingo with the Kimmer.
All right, we can do that. And wait to hear the sound coming up, too. First bingo with fish sticks. Hey, man, you're on the radio.
Bingo!
Fish stick.
Bingo! Hey, what's up?
Kimmer, let me tell you something. Recently, I've been listening to about 6 years ago stuff, and you haven't changed one bit. You're still bitching about the same stuff, Bubba.
There you go. All right, there. See, bitching about the same stuff. That's my motto, fish sticks. Come to the right place, man.
I love you guys.
I love you too, man. All right, you got to go. You're killing me. I got to get out of here. 5.54.
Little tartar sauce.
All right, check out this side. This is incredible. President Stupid Face, white trash occupant of the White House, says, quote, we would like to extend our deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of Laken Hope Riley. People should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law if they're found to be guilty. Given this is an active case, we would have to refer you to state law enforcement and ICE, unquote. That's the end of it. That's their statement.
That's what he said?
Okay. We offer condolences to the loved ones, but we really can't have anything to do with it because it's a state thing. You're friends at the White House. Holy crap!
Mm-hmm.
Compare that to Pete. What do you have there for us?
He had 20-something messages about George Floyd, including this one that he taped.
This is President Dr.
He was vice president, wasn't he, at the time? George Floyd?
Yeah.
Or was it? Was that during
wait a minute.
Trump? So he's probably just private citizen Biden at this point. Don't you think?
Wait a minute now. When
was Floyd?
Well,
was that, 2021.
Was it?
He was president.
If only you had a way to look this.
Anyway, let's say he's still president anyway. So as president of the United States, Joe Biden, the man he is, said this about the career criminal.
Yeah, here we go.
James Woods, I think, posted this.
To George's family and friends,
George Floyd.
Jill and I know the deep hole in your hearts when you bury a piece of your soul deep in this earth. We know you will never feel the same again. I've watched with awe as you summon the absolute courage to channel God's grace. You're so brave. Why does justice not roll like a river or righteousness like a mighty stream?
Over you.
Why? To everything there is a time and a purpose and a season under the heavens. May God be with you, George Floyd, and your family. And the words of a hymn from my church based on the 91st Psalm.
Over George Floyd.
Raise you up on eagle's wings.
No.
Criminal.
Bear you on the breath of dawn.
Career criminal. Fought with police.
Make you to shine like the sun. And hold you in the palm of his hand.
I can't tell you.
But not you, Laken.
Oh, my God.
You're just a white girl.
Yeah, you're just, and by the way, God forbid you say anything about illegal, freaking invading alien killers who come in on your watch. Yeah. Dear God. And Donald Trump says Biden's border policy invasion is the reason that she was murdered. And Donald Trump says if he comes back into power, you're going to have immediately seal the border and begin the largest deportation operation of illegal criminals in American history. And by the way, now the judge is after him again. The Manhattan DA is requesting the judge. Oh, now my iPad just went to a commercial. Hold on. Got to get it to hell. Oh, don't do this to me. I hate when I go back to Fox News again. Come on. Well, now why is it ad served by Google? How do I get rid of it? I can't get rid of it. Well, it won't do anything.
If you throw it against the wall as hard as you can.
I can't believe it. No, seriously. How the hell do I get rid of this ad by Google?
I've never seen that before.
I can't read my story because it's blank. The whole freaking page is a blank white page. But you can't swipe it. I can't do anything. I had to shut it off and go back again.
Nobody cares.
Dear
Do your
God.
show.
Well, I was going to read the story about they're trying to silence Trump again in New York.
Do something else.
Dear God. I mean, it's just freaking.
How about a comedy bit?
How about a comedy bit?
I don't know.
Perfect.
What is this thing doing?
But I'll be honest, I can't wait for the day when trans women completely replace women at women's sports. That's my dream. I have a Martin Luther King dream that one day trans women completely replace women at women's sports. And then women will know what white people went through when we let black people play sports. That's difficult, ain't it? This is why we have no sympathy for you ladies. We hear you on the news like, how can we win? They run faster and jump higher. We're like, oh, I wonder what that is like. I wonder. That must be so difficult.
And who is our friend over there?
That's Andrew Schultz.
Oh, my God. I love it. Anyway, let's see. I never did get the update of that stupid story, but that's okay. It's all good. Anyway, father's reacting. A father here, 2 Georgia college students, not letting this go, man. What happened over there? Apparently, Governor Kemp has said he today blamed the White House for the death of Laken Riley and expressed fury over the 22-year-old's death, suggesting in a letter, strongly worded letter, that the alleged killer slipped through the cracks. Well, no kidding. He also slipped through the cracks of Athens and Clark County. And I don't know why everybody who's got a student over at Athens doesn't just show up at the freaking courthouse outside on the street, and the police department and city hall and the DA's office in the street publicly protesting and wear a gun. Just to show them we're not taking this anymore. In fact, how about some armed people gathering the trail? Is that trail on campus property? Can you have guns on that trail?
Probably not.
If it's on campus property, you can't. Anyway, all right. Oh, my God. Where's my... Here it is. So stand by. Froggy? I'm sorry, I got it. All right, boys. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oorah, I gotta go. You're killing me. That was almost pretty. Oorah, look out.
That's what she said.
Likely story.
The Kimmer Show is back every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. only on WFOM Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3 FM.
Fueling debate over border policies. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. New information on the suspect in the death of a Georgia nursing student whose body was found on the University of Georgia campus last week.
Fox News can now confirm that migrant who's now accused of murder actually crossed in illegally through Texas here and was not arrested just once, but twice. That arrest coming when he was busted on child endangerment charges in New York just several months ago. And